All right, we are live. So,
We're live. We're alive.
as you
It's
can
alive.
see, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
So, happy birthday to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's your birthday, not my birthday. Her birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. And she said I get to talk about anything I want.
Yes, anything she wants. It's her birthday,
It's my birthday.
so she gets a pick. What we talk about.
Yes.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, first I want to say, if you're listening to this, please go to Ko-Fi/Goddess Garage.
Yes.
Because you can make a birthday donation to me.
Exactly. Buy her coffee.
Buy me a
some
coffee.
cake.
Buy me a slice of cake, whatever it might be. Or you can join the Goddess Club there. And it's also where all the services are. So it's
You
sort
can
of my
see-
mini website kind of
You
thing.
can see what she's got going on.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
you're a goddess in the Goddess Club, you get special pricing.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. So, it saves you some money. And you get special, like, if I'm doing a new thing.
You get like the first chance to try a
Yes.
specialized price, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. And she does all new things all the time.
I do. I'm an Aries, so we love new.
No.
Yeah. Well, you're Aquarius, and Aquarians love new technology.
I do.
So you jump on new technology. Aries just get bored, and we're like, what else can I do?
I know. It's worked out well that I got with a husband who likes new technology.
Yes.
He always brings me new stuff. I find it funny though, because I wouldn't say I'm really necessarily a tech savvy person necessarily, but I love new things. Like when he's like, "Oh, we can do this," like, "This is great. I love this."
Exactly. Yeah. No, and that's awesome that, I wonder where his Aquarius is in his chart.
I know, I keep meaning to do his chart because he always intrigues me about how he is. Because sometimes it's like you don't fit who you are sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
he's also cusp. So I think
Yes.
that plays a big aspect into it.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
Well, it explains his hard work because he's Leo Virgo cusp.
I think
Or
it's
Leo
Leo
Cancer.
Cancer.
Leo Cancer. Okay. Because Virgos are notorious.
He must have Virgo
Hard-
somewhere. Or Capricorn, I've always wondered too.
Yeah, like
Because he is very dedicated to work.
Yeah, and yeah, Capricorn and Virgo are definitely where you want to look because Virgos are extremely loyal and hardworking.
That's I end up to a T.
Yeah. Whereas Capricorns, like I said, they're married to their
The job.
career.
I feel like
They're
he
married
must,
to that first before they're married to their spouse.
Yeah, he must have more Virgo because he likes the idea of, he wants work-life balance.
Well,
but
that's
he's
his
also
Cancer
very
coming through
yeah.
too, right? So
He's
Cancer's
very-
all about home. I always say male or female, they're all mothers.
Yeah.
If they're Cancer.
That's very fitting for Ayanda.
Because they're very nurturing, right?
He is very nurturing. Yeah, he's very Cancer when he's like at home.
Yes.
When he's
yes.
out and about, he's very Leo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when he's at home and like his relationships, he's very Cancer.
Nice.
But he messed up Virgo because he is very, like how he is. He's very dedicated to his work.
Yeah. Well, I'm Virgo rising. So when I found that out, I'm like, oh, that explains. Because I was always like, I'm dedicated to my career very much the same way your father is, who's Capricorn. So again, he's married to his career first.
Only his job. What life?
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Virgos, they are better at balancing out, but they
Yeah.
will work to the end. Like I always jokingly say, it's my Aries that starts things, it's my Virgo that finishes.
Yes.
Like when I was doing those packets last night, it was my Virgo going, you gotta
You
finish
gotta
this.
finish this. You started it, and now you made the commitment.
My Aries was rebelling, going, no,
I'm done.
I want to go do some dishes. I want to go have a shower.
I-
I want to go do this.
I'm bad for that. I'm like, as soon as there's something like I have to do, I'm like, and there's a million other things I could do magically.
Yes,
It's like, well, this random thing I've been putting off forever, I'm going to start right now. I'm really bad for like starting a random craft
Okay, yeah.
when I'm crucial to do something else.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
I must make this new stuffy. I haven't made a stuffy for years, but I'm making one now.
We don't have a clean plate in the house, but I'm making a stuffy.
100%. I'm bad for that. And Ayanda just indulges me. He's like, okay, that's great. Good job.
Well, Ayanda's great. I mean, he's lately been coaching me a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
he's very,
and he's encouraging me and stuff. And,
Yeah.
And I very much appreciate that, and very much needed right now.
Yeah, he's very good at like business stuff.
Yeah.
He's always been business focused.
Yeah.
Business savvy.
Oh, excuse me.
And is always willing to help people. Like he does the same thing for his mom too. He's always
Right.
like he's very
Like,
driven.
Where he finds the time, because like
Oh my God,
as
I know, right?
hardworking as I am, you know, sometimes there's days where I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to, and I appreciate that Ayanda doesn't get offended when I don't answer right
No,
away.
he's not. He's not like that at all.
Yeah,
It takes a lot to get into. He
Yeah.
takes everything. He always sees the benefit of everyone. Like, he always gives everyone the benefit of the doubt. Like, he
Right.
never assumes anything negative about someone.
Because if I go quiet, which I have been lately, it means I'm kind of sorting stuff out on my end.
Yeah.
You know, either it's mentally, spiritually, whatever way
Yeah.
I'm going.
Other life things taking
Yeah.
up space.
Yeah.
Taking
so
your spoons.
it's like I've read it, I've seen it, I'm not replying to it right now.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. No, he's good that way.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I don't. If I'm responding to you, I mean, granted, I'm terrible for responding back to people, but if I am taking the time to message you, it means I'm like, okay, I need that now. Like, I'm only asking
Yes.
you because I have to and I need to know.
And one thing I'm bad for is I did this with the phone. I was made fun of in high school, not badly, like I wasn't bullied or anything, but a little bit of teasing that my friends gave me.
joshing around. kind of.
Exactly. That they said I only call if I have a question or if I need something, or you know, like it's not like I was calling to borrow money, but it's
Yeah.
like I called with a purpose. I
So don't call, just be like, I want to chat.
yeah, I never called just to chat.
I'm the same. I don't.
And I feel bad because like you know, like you guys, even my kids, I don't just check up on you just because, or I try to once in a while, but it's a out of the blue kind of thing.
Yeah, I do sometimes with the random person, especially if it's someone I talk to from time to time.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about a friend. I was like, oh, we haven't been talking as much. I'm like, I should reach out and like just be like, hey, touch base.
Yeah,
But, like, I
yeah.
am not like, but that's also a really good friend. I would not go out of my way to typically do that with someone. Like, I don't.
know.
I'm
not,
bad for that.
I'm not good.
I'm very
for
much
that.
the same.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
you. If you want to talk to me, you can reach out to me. And I'll
talk
I'll
back.
talk to you. Maybe. I hate
3 to 5 business days.
yeah, 3 to 5. Yeah, it depends because sometimes I am bad for like I'll look, and I'm like, oh, like if I'm like maybe in the middle of driving or I'm just in the middle of something, or like maybe I'll mentally reply, and they're like, okay, yeah, and then I'll like move on with
Yeah.
my life, and then I'll be like
There's
a week.
so many messages I've mentally replied to.
I'll be like a week or two later. I'll wake up and then just like,
Yeah.
I never actually responded to that. I was like, oh shit, I don't think I did.
Did I just think that, or did I actually?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Always like I'll check the next day. I'm like, no, I just read it. I just left
Or
them
I'll
unread.
start to type something and then I'll be like,
I've done that before.
I have to like find a link or whatever, and then
Or I'll think I've sent it. Like I've done that before. I think
or
I
I
sent.
haven't pressed send.
Yeah, I'll look and I'm like, I have the whole text right
So
here.
the last week I've been typing.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing. That must be a really long message I'm just gonna send. I've done that. I'm terrible for that. I'm really bad for that.
And then after a week of typing, that the person see it's just one line.
Yeah. It's like, whew. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
One word. Yes. It's like, couldn't have taken the time to do that. No, I'm terrible for doing that.
Right.
The only person I really talk with any consistency is Ayanda.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And
he's around.
He's
right?
around. I mean, like, you kind of have to be within my scope. Like, I very much keep friendships where they're like, you know, we can all do our own thing, and I don't take offense if you don't
Yeah.
get in contact with me over a while.
I love friends that can have some time, and
then
we
you
can
come
pick
back.
up where we
Well,
left off.
That's very much a lot of my friendships because I'm like, I'm busy and I tend to be like to be by myself naturally. So like,
I'm busy with myself.
I'm busy with myself and all of my personalities and
my various interests.
various interests.
Because I'm a very entertaining person,
I can,
but I'm entertaining for myself.
just for me, just for myself. I'm busy enough with me.
Yeah.
I keep up all my time. I have almost no energy to entertain
Well, if
anyone
I
else.
do, like, I don't know if you've ever done this, but I do schedules sometimes of like, okay, Saturdays, this is what I'm going to do on Saturdays. Here's what I'm going to generally do on Sundays. And I don't have enough time to do everything I want to do.
Yeah.
Let alone like, should someone want to go for lunch or have
Well,
coffee?
yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's eating like 2
Well-
or 3 hours. I don't
Well,
know.
also too,
What's it
like
worth?
just the energy too, because like certain
Yeah.
people, like there's some people who are like really low energy and they don't zap energy from me,
No.
so I don't mind spending time with them.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's still not tiring to go, because the whole, I have to get up, I have to get ready, I have to go and
I
do
gotta
this.
put pants on.
I have to put pants on. I'm gonna have to be, if I go and talk to them, it means I'll probably be having going out, which means I'll have to interact with other people, and that can be tiring. And like, you know, depending on the situation,
Chit chat with the cashier. It's so exhausting.
it can be. It can be. So like I have to think about like that cost.
I have to smile like
I
I
have
really
to
mean
smile.
it.
I have to put pants on. I have to like appear clean.
Yeah.
I have to shower. No,
I gotta freshen up.
freshen up. I have to look presentable for the public.
Gotta make sure I don't smell too bad.
I know. It's hard when you work from home too, because I'm like, well, I could just live in my pajamas if I wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes it real easy to do that. But yeah, if I don't, I typically don't like to spend a lot of time. Like, if they are low energy and they don't zap energy for me, I don't mind. And a lot of the friendships I take typically are that.
Yeah.
But even still, I'm like, well, you have your life, I have my life. I don't take offense to you doing your life, and if you don't respond to me in a while. And there's a lot of friends who I like, who I would still consider friends, but we keep being like, we should get together, and then they don't follow up.
Yeah.
I do get annoyed if I do reach out and I'm like, okay, let's try and make this work. Like, I'm really flexible because my schedule is flexible, and then they don't respond. And like, okay, if I've done that a few times now and you still aren't responding, then I kind of get annoyed because I'm like, I'm not the type of person. Yeah, I'm not. Well, especially because I'm not the type of person who will actively.
If I'm reaching out, it means a lot.
Yeah, like if I'm taking the time to come be and like, be and invite you.
And that's, like you said, if it's a friend who's going through a dark time, I will reach out more than I usually do.
100%. Like if it's someone who I know who needs me to reach out more,
Needs some support, needs some love,
need some support.
whatever.
100%. I will make a conscious effort.
Yeah.
And there's our certain friends who, like, even if I haven't talked to them in like months or years, and they called me in the den, I'd be like, I need you. I'd be like, okay, I'm there. Like I would wake up and I would be right there.
Yeah.
But like, so I do get annoyed when it's like, okay, well, I've made the conscious effort, and there's only so many times I'm going to do that. So I'm like, well, I did it. I tried.
Yeah.
I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink it.
Exactly. Yeah. And even like I have over 4,000 friends on Facebook.
She's so popular.
I'm a rock star, people.
I literally have been trying to remove people from my thing.
Well, I've removed
I don't have
some
that many people though.
But most of the time, it's like I will friend you, especially if you're a woman. If you're a guy, no, probably not.
Guys can be weird on social media.
Well, especially if I don't know you, right?
Yeah, it's a little.
And I do get women that will want to friend me that I don't know, but a lot of times they're potential clients, right? So guys, I kind of like wait and see, because sometimes they'll message me and go, I was told that you're a tarot reader, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, let's friend each other. And, yeah. Whereas, you're John Smith, who owns an oil tanker and is recently widowed.
You're very pretty.
It's like, yeah, I won't be friending you. But for the most part, I friend you unless you prove otherwise, right? Like, unless you start going into these really horrific, like I deleted one person because they were super into like, I love horror movies and stuff, but they were into like really graphic kind of,
almost snuff films.
Yeah, like borderline there, like hurting, and it's just like, nope, you're done.
That's uncomfortable.
And then one other person I unfriended because they were getting very racist about things. So I was like, yep, we're done.
Yeah, if someone's I've removed people who are like who are like really racist or really extreme on like a political point that like is important to me, that I'm like, okay, clearly like we're not.
Yeah, I don't mind if we don't agree, but there's a line that
there's
you
a certain
can walk up to.
Yeah, that's like,
and you can be there. That's the whole point of freedom of speech and stuff, is that you are allowed to say what you think and what you believe. I might not think the same way or believe in the same things, but there's ways of believing in those things without being super offensive, without being, like, we can agree to disagree or whatever, right? And I have people like that still on my feed where it's like, okay, I don't really agree with that, but it's your right to have that opinion.
Yeah, I definitely have some people that are a little like, I'm surprised you think that, but I mean,
Yeah,
they're not like, it's not to the point where it's like harmful towards other
Yeah,
people or
yeah.
being like offensive. It's just like,
It's
that's
not
that's a little weird.
derogatory.
Yeah, it's like, it's just a little weird that you think that, but I'm not gonna judge you for that.
Well, that's
I'm
what
judging,
makes-
but I'm not gonna.
Well, yeah,
I
and,
can't judge you that
well,
hard.
that's what makes the world go round, right? Different people thinking in different ways, because sometimes, sometimes it's like,
Sometimes.
I didn't think of it that way. I mean, you and I do that to each other all the time with craft stuff and cooking stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't know that. Or
Mainly me, because
Yeah.
I am a wealth of knowledge. No.
she is actually, she really is. But but occasionally I surprise her.
So, she does. No, she gives me lots of information too that I will then decide if I think's worthwhile. No.
Yeah. Her brain either goes, yeah, this is good, keep
Yeah.
it, or crumple,
Yeah,
throw it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, when you cross that line, you
Yeah,
know,
there's definitely some things I'm like, okay.
and there was
no.
one guy that I deleted. This was many years ago, where he started in on rants about how shitty women were.
Oh.
And I was like,
incel talking.
Yeah, it's like, okay, delete.
Yeah. I've definitely seen some of that. Like I don't keep a lot of people. I keep fewer people on my thing. I don't go on social media a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm there because of business.
Yeah. When I'm on social media, I literally just watch reels. Like I get sucked into my stories.
Me too.
It's like that's like literally all I use Facebook for. I don't like actively do anything else on Facebook but watch reels.
I go on there for business. I answer messages. I rarely, like in the morning, I might do a quick scroll because
Yeah.
sometimes, like if someone's lost
Sometimes
someone.
community stuff. Like I see
Yeah.
and there's like a community group from my neighborhood and for Kingston. So I
Yeah.
look at that stuff.
Or I also try to look and see if there's something big happening in someone's life. Like if someone's graduated from something.
Like death in the family
Death
or
in the family.
birth.
There was a lady or a birth. I'll
Marriage.
try and like those things, right?
I do, yeah, because oftentimes because those are so hit hard, they do show up. So I do make a point of being like, oh, that's really great for you.
Yeah, because I want to, either support them or help them in some way or congratulate, like add to the congratulations.
Yeah, I
and
do that, but I don't.
But I'm not like sitting on social media all the time. I don't doom scroll or rarely
Oh,
do.
I can, but I do it on Instagram more often.
I
And if
do do doom scroll on Instagram more often.
But once again, I get in the
But-
reels. Like as soon as I get into the reels, and I'm like, and I'm like, what am I doing?
And
I've been better. I've been working on it.
follow a crap ton of junk journal people on Instagram.
Oh.
So my whole Instagram feed
So
is
it's
pretty
just
much junk journal stuff.
Mine
so
goes
I'm
all
like,
over the place.
Let me look at that. That's a new thing. Oh, that looks pretty. And it's almost a comforting thing to watch them put the things
It is
together.
very meditative. I see
Yeah.
mine goes all over the place because sometimes it's like cross stitch, sometimes it's art, sometimes it's cooking, sometimes it's working out, sometimes it's magical stuff. Like you can tell when I
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if I watch too much of one thing, of course, then it starts to curate that even more. Of course.
Now my Facebook is a little more like that, where it's like more eclectic.
My Facebook is literally just Reddit stories.
Okay, mine's reels.
A big part of it in cooking.
Okay, yeah.
And so,
I
but I get sucked into it because I'll be like, oh, I'll like watch one and then I'll like swipe and like, oh, there's another one. Wow, I'll just sit here and read this story. This sounds interesting too.
And the reels for me are like, there's a
It's like
lot
my
of
daytime
dancing
show.
ones I watch, dogs and animals of any kind I watch.
I don't watch a lot of dancing ones.
Yeah, I guess I watched a few and they
No,
now come up.
they're all showing you.
Yeah, and cooking ones sometimes show
I do
up
get
too.
a lot of cooking ones.
Or Dollar Tree hacks.
Oh, I've seen some of those. Yeah.
And I watch those because I'm like, oh, that does look interesting. Boom.
I could do something with that.
Yeah, that looks easy.
And then you get the stuff, and then you never do it.
And then you're like-
it just sits there waiting for you in the dollar store bag, in the back of
And then
your closet.
And then you find the dollar store bag and you're like, what was
Why
I going
am I
to do with this?
Yeah. You're like, well, you know what? Actually, this would be really good for this other thing.
Yeah.
And after you do the other project, then you remember why you got it. And you're like, oh, that was such a good idea. I should go get that stuff so I can do that because I've used it up. And then you get the stuff, and then it sits back in your closet again.
And the vicious
And
cycle begins.
over and over again for the end of time. That's hell there.
It's the worst thing cleaning up my craft cupboards.
I know.
Because I always go in, I'm going to purge, and then I'm like,
No,
oh
you keep
no, but
90%
I'm
of
like,
it.
yeah.
I've just learned to be like, okay, only buy what I need when I need it.
Right.
Mainly because I don't have a lot of space.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I've gotten to the point where like I just have to be minimal with what I need. So if I am doing something, buy what I need when I need it.
Well, those
And not
darn girls are taking up your craft room.
oh my god, right? I know. Seriously. I turned it into a whole space for me and then I got pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Now they want to sleep
now,
in that
now
bedroom.
they need a bed where they sleep with their toys
and their clothes.
and clothes and
They take up a lot of space.
they won't just sleep
Rent
in
free.
a box.
Rent free.
Barely clean.
Yeah, exactly.
Or we're like telling them like I was like, oh, we'll go see the new Minecraft movie this weekend.
Oh, okay.
He's like, but you have to clean this week.
Oh,
Have they
okay.
cleaned this week?
Yeah, because they've been told like
They have not.
yes, and they've gotten things in the past probably and
Oh,
slid by.
100%.
I mean, I did it as a kid. I
Oh.
feel like how little can I do?
Well, like Lucy was like, well, we cleaned off the table last night. And I'm like, yeah, because you need to eat dinner and
Yeah.
you made a mess of it. And the only way we can eat dinner is if you cleaned off the table.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
I was just like, I'm like, that doesn't count as cleaning for the movie. And she's like, well, it should. I'm like, well, it doesn't. Sorry.
Not up for debate.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my god, I tell you, kids are the best lawyers. They
Oh,
find
yeah.
every loophole. Like if you miss even the smallest of things,
Oh god.
they're like, "Well, you never said this." Like they are.
in clause A 13.
Oh my god, every kid should be a
You
lawyer.
did not state that this was.
Yeah. Well, you didn't specify. It's always like you didn't specify, even if it's something you've said in the past, and they know that technically they shouldn't do it because you know
Right.
it's wrong. They're like, well, you didn't explicitly say it. So I've gone in the habit of like I have to state every point. Like I have a whole list. Like, and that doesn't mean.
A, B, C,
Yeah.
D, E, F, G.
And then they get mad. I know when I've hit marks because I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Like, damn it, I was thinking of it that.
who's gonna do that? Now you ruined the whole damn plan. It's like, yeah, I know your sneaky ways.
Yeah, exactly. One, because I've used them myself.
Yeah, I was once a
This
kid.
is not my first rodeo.
Yeah, exactly. Despite how you keep calling me old.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're so old, Mom. I'm like, I can't wait till you get to my age. And then I can start calling you old.
Or you can go, what the hell do you mean you have a backache?
Yeah.
It's like, you're not old yet.
You're not old yet.
Wait till you're up here.
Right? Oh my god. I know sometimes Annabelle will do that because I have a bad back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, oh, like my back. And then Annabelle has been like, oh, my back. I'm like, fuck, you're six.
Yeah, you don't have sore back.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, granted, I will say low iron does make you have more bone pain, which I've
Yeah.
learned. Back so technically, she could have back pain.
but still,
there,
suck it up.
I was
Buttercup.
going to say, there are some things I'm like, okay.
I'm saying this about my own granddaughter.
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
She is so tiny and so sweet. But
She
yeah,
is.
but
She
she's
is.
6. She
She's 6.
bounces off walls.
Oh my god. I will say, though, she is my most accident-prone child.
Oh,
like,
no, is she?
Oh, Annabelle is. She's the tinier one of the two of them.
Okay.
Is skinnier and
Yeah.
tiny, like more. Like Lucy definitely has more my build, and she's
Okay.
like thick and sturdy.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
And she bounces back from something. Like she screams like, "I'm okay." Like, and granted, she's very coordinated, so she doesn't really hurt herself very often.
Right. But
Doesn't-
Annabelle steps
but Annabelle-
outside and is like, I scraped my knee. It's like, you didn't even fall. How did you
I know.
scrape your knee?
She's always no great what she does. Well, she does often like really hurt herself.
No.
So it's not like she just like accidentally a leaf blew up on her and oh no, it
Yeah.
scraped my neck or something. Like oh,
She did a whole
she
stunt driver dive into the driveway.
Yeah, she's just like not as well balanced. As Lucy, it's like she's still physically inclined. Like both Lucy and Annabelle are very physically inclined.
Yeah.
Annabelle's just not as physically inclined, and she's
Well,
just a little not as well balanced.
It's harder too because she's the younger sister, so
She's
she tries
always
to
trying-
follow what Lucy's
She's
doing.
always trying to keep up. Like she definitely started walking sooner than she should have. So my oldest was fully walking at 10. Lucy fully walked at 10, and she was a great walker.
Okay, yeah.
Annabelle also tried to walk at 10 months. 10 months, I should say, not 10 years. 10 months.
Yeah.
Annabelle also tried to. She should not have.
She should have waited a month
She
or
should have
two.
waited longer. Like she was the most uncoordinated walker. Like it was like as if she was always drunk and she always fell and hit her face because she was so
Oh,
unbalanced.
like, I'm
Like
going,
the number of
I'm going
times,
again.
the number of times that kid smacked her face. Because like she would be like, I'm gonna walk. And I'm like, well maybe not.
Yeah.
But she was so
Don't let go of anything.
she would no, and she was so determined because Lucy was walking.
Yeah, so she wanted to keep up.
She just
Yeah.
wanted to keep up. She did stairs early. She walked early, and she always had this weird walk for a while to the point where like Namusa was like, maybe we should get her checked because her legs are kind of wonky. I'm like, I think they're just wonky because they're trying to just keep her up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
They're not supposed to be walking
she's
yet.
not ready for this
These
yet.
are not walking legs.
No, 100% not. Like Lucy was a great walker.
Yeah.
She started like furniture crawling and walking for like 9 months and then let go at 10 and was perfectly fine.
Right.
And she could walk long distances.
Yeah.
Annabelle, I don't even know what to tell you what
She just got up one day and went, I can do this.
yeah, it was like pure determination. You could see the shaking of the legs. But like if you tried to pick her up or try to help her, she would get so pissed off at you. Like, leave me alone.
She is determined. When
Oh.
once she decides this is what I'm doing,
Yeah, she's set.
she will do it, and her hair could be on fire and she'd be like, nope, I'm still doing it.
Yeah. I know. So it's like you just had to let her do it, and you're like, all right. And you
I
just
have learned that.
manage her. So she's still like that.
Gently, very gently.
Yeah, because if you do too harsh, she resists. It's even worse.
It's got to be very subtle, and
have to-
she's quick on picking up on subtle too.
Yeah, she is. You have to really make it seem like it was her idea.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
like, do you think we should do this? What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, and then, you know, like, you have to, like,
Annabelle
oppose.
just came up with a great idea.
Yeah. And she loves to take credit for ideas, even when they're not her ideas. She's like, yeah, it was my idea. I'm like,
she's gonna be great in an office.
oh my God. She's always like, oh, I decided that. I'm like, fuck you, no, you didn't. I'm like, whatever, you know, she's a child.
I'll give it to you.
I'll give it to you. Even when she loves to make dinner. Like, she loves to cook. She's definitely the one that likes to cook and bake. So she's
Okay.
always the one that's cooking with
Well, she
me.
better get that coordination up then, because you get work in the kitchen. if
No,
you're
she's
uncoordinated.
better now. I will say she's better with her coordination now.
Yeah,
And-
she's grown up a bit.
And
so.
she's more patient when it comes. She has the patience for stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So she's very good with cooking because she has the patience, and she's very good at following and listening to instructions.
Oh, okay.
So she is quite good for cooking and baking.
Okay.
But she'll be like, when we usually when we have dinner, I know like, oh, like whoever's cooking dinner, we usually say thank you to.
Oh, yes,
and so
of course.
and so then Annabelle, even if she's done the smallest of things, even if she just put salt in the pot, which sometimes that happens, she's like, well, I helped too. I made dinner too.
I made dinner too. I
like-
need full credit for this.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, oftentimes she does do more.
Yeah.
But there's oftentimes where she's like, maybe she just get
But she's
busy.
not sitting around making a full
She's
pasta
not-
with
no.
Caesar salad and serving
No,
that up
she-
to you
I-
guys while you sit on the couch.
100%. But the way she talks is as if she's did the whole thing.
Yeah.
She came up with the meal. She cooked everything. She was slaving in the kitchen. Like,
She served it all out
she
to
served
you.
it all out. Exactly. And she's like, well, I made dinner too, Mom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, you did.
Yeah, you got the dinner rolls out of the bag.
Yeah,
Good for you.
Good job, thank you. I mean, she is learning to cut stuff. I have to get her a proper like kid's knife.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
she's been starting to cut like potatoes and stuff for dinner.
And she's learning how to do it properly so she doesn't lose fingers.
Yes.
It's okay to lose part of a finger, like the skin, that'll grow back.
That'll go back.
But
But you don't want
tips?
tips. God,
Yeah.
no. But there's some better knives. I've been using like butter knives because I'm like, the other knives I have are too sharp. I tried another one and I was like, no, I don't think we're ready for that one.
Yeah, at 6, yeah. You
So
gotta
I've
be a
been
little
like,
more mindful.
yeah. So I've been like half cutting them to make it easier, but you can get like proper like kids knives that are like easier
Oh,
to use.
okay,
So I
cool.
want to buy that for her since
Nice.
she does.
Her
Lucy,
first knife set.
exactly. She really loves to cook, so I want to like encourage that
Yeah.
more. Plus, then I don't have to. Hopefully, once I get older, yeah, she can cook sometimes.
Hey, Annabelle, you want to make dinner
That's
tonight?
what I did when I was a teenager, so
Yeah,
I hope
yeah.
she could do the same.
And you know, like I find every generation gets a little bit better. Like I'm
Yeah.
a better cook than my mom was. You're a better cook than I was in some
And
things.
so hopefully, she'll be a better cook than me.
Yeah, right. Because it's built on knowledge.
Yeah, and she's often said she wants to be a cook or a baker when she grows
Okay.
up. So like that's kind of her thing that she's into right now.
Yeah.
So I like to nurture
Now
that.
cooking is intuitive, whereas baking is more of a science.
Yes.
So but I mean, you can do both.
You
But
can do both.
But if you're doing it professionally, you tend to go
But
one way or the other.
I think what she said, I can't remember what she said she liked to do. I think she said she'd like to do baking more.
I was gonna say I can see her as a baker.
Yeah, she's very like she does have a good palate though, because sometimes I'll be like, well, what does this taste like? What do you think we need more of? And she'll be like, oh, I think it needs more of this. I'm like, yeah, I would say you're right. Like,
it needs more margarine, mother. It's like, margarine, I've never even used that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't keep margarine in the house. We only use
But
butter.
she throws that one out. No, not margarine, marjoram.
Oh, marjoram,
the herb.
Yes, actually, I do use that herb though.
Yeah.
Not as often. I
No,
don't
but
keep-
it's like it's a weird one. Right?
yeah, it was a weird one.
It's like add a little 5 spice. It'll brighten it up. And it's like, what the hell? How do you even know about this?
I also do use 5 spice.
Well, I was just watching Michael McIntyre. He's a British comedian,
yeah.
and he talks about the spice cupboard, and he talks about the 5 spice. And he's like, "I'm 5 spice. Amazing." And it's like
Everything you need.
everybody's only bought it for that one Asian dish that
Yeah,
you
you
want it
always
for.
have, right?
And it's like,
I mean, you can easily mix up the stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's like, but it's handy sometimes when you can just buy something and you know, like this, like pumpkin spice. People-
Yeah.
you can make pumpkin spice,
but if it's just right there,
yeah.
boom, there
or
you go.
Italian seasoning. You know,
Yeah.
like all of these things are just mixtures that you can like of your normal
home
herbs.
make yourself if
Yeah.
you wanted to. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just easier just to have the bottle
It's
there
just-
and
yeah.
buy that bottle, and then you know.
That's exactly what it is, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to like try and make it or anything. But yeah, so she's I wouldn't be surprised if she grows up to be a cook or
Mm-hmm.
a baker. She really does like to do that stuff.
Baker, well, she'll have to like the early mornings.
Yeah, that's not Annabelle. You can do night stuff too.
She could do like starting new trends where it's like my bread's not ready till noon.
Yeah.
Come see me then.
Yeah. Hey, there are people who do that, and like there are people who do night shifts because I know a mom who works at Panchancho and she works like the night shift.
Oh, okay.
So that because of course like you know getting the stuff ready I think
Yeah.
for like the next day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
maybe she'll do that.
Yeah,
Because
who
she
knows?
is kind of more of a night owl, which is
Okay.
really difficult for
Yes.
school
Yeah. And for bedtime.
and bedtimes. She is better. Like we still don't. She doesn't stay up super late. Like last night they were fighting us a little bit. It was like 8:30 by the time they finally fell asleep, and we start bedtime at 7:30.
Okay.
So
That's a long hour.
you know, granted, we start 7:30 and they have to like brush their teeth. They'll be like, brush your teeth. Like 7:30 is like, okay, get ready, get your bonnet on, put your pajamas on, brush your teeth.
Yeah.
And so by the time they do that, they're in bed by 8.
Yeah.
And
But
then-
still, that last hour, half hour is the longest of the day.
It really,
It's
honestly,
like, I'm
is.
done.
Oh,
You
me and
need to be done too.
that's where like you're most likely to get angry at your kids and
Yes.
yell because you're like, I just need you to just be quiet and just.
Well, remember, I mean, we talked about this before too, where I would sit at the top of the stairs.
Oh yeah.
And her and her brother would try and sneak
Sneak
back
it.
and forth between their rooms. And like, Marcel would pick his head out. I'd like, get back to bed.
Oh my god, so many times. I know the girls will do that. Like even though they share a room, we only have a 2-bedroom apartment. We share a room
Yeah.
and they have bunk beds, but they'll still try and sneak onto each other's bunk beds. I'm like,
Like, why?
just go to sleep.
You spent the last 4 hours with each other at home. And then you were at school
and you were
together.
fighting most of the time
Yeah.
anyway, so why are you trying to see each other? Don't you want some space?
But now at bedtime, now's the time when we love
Oh
each
my
other.
god, right?
You know.
And they can't hide it because this bunk bed squeaks a little bit when
Yeah.
it moves. So when they're getting down, you hear and I'm like, I know you're trying to get up on your bed. I wasn't doing anything, I was just dreaming. And then always Lucy will come out and she'll be like, because Lucy has a bad habit of being like at right when she should be asleep. She'll be like, I'm hungry.
Of course, you're always hungry right
And I'm
before
like,
bed.
and I just
and
like
thirsty.
Ida gets so mad. He's like, I asked you before going to bed, did you not want a snack? And you said you were not hungry.
I need to go for a jog. I just really feel
Yeah.
that.
Annabelle Sing's like, I'm just not tired.
I'm just not tired.
I can't sleep. I'm like, well, then just lie on your bed, dude.
Yeah,
Listen to your stories. Like we always play stories for them at night.
Oh,
So they
okay.
have different stories they listen to.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, well, that's why you have your story. You can just sit and listen to your story.
Yeah,
That's all you need to do.
But no.
And then, or like Annabelle in particular is like, oh, well, my head hurts. Oh, my neck hurts. My shoulder hurts. Oh, my foot hurts. It's really itchy. She's the one that's like, oh, there's something wrong with me. Lucy's like, I'm hungry. I'm thirsty.
I have to pee
I have
again.
to. Oh my god, she's like, I have to pee again. Or she's
And
like,
now I'm thirsty. Well, no, because you'll have to pee
oh,
right after
right.
you drink.
And then she'll be like, if you give her a snack, she's like, well, this is what I wanted. I'm like, well, too bad.
This is not the time to be picky, child.
It is. I just was like, you should have had seconds of dinner if you.
Yeah, exactly.
like,
Well, what do you want? I want a filet mignon.
yeah. It's always like something, yeah.
Or a baked potato. It takes 2 hours to bake a potato. It's like, a baked potato with lots of sour cream. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not making
I'm
you
not
that.
doing that for you. I know it's usually like candy or something like a treat, and we're like, no, like why and like get dessert after dinner, so it's not like they're deprived of
You
sugar.
should look up Mad TV. You know the guy that played the Asian woman? He would play her, and she would always be like, she'd forgotten something, or she was annoying in some way. So she's outside a candy store that's just closed for the night, right?
Okay.
And she's like, I want to come in, and she's like, I
Well, it
forgot.
sounds like vaguely familiar.
Yeah, and she says, I forgot something, and the guy who he plays Stuart is inside, the shopkeeper.
This does sound familiar.
Yeah, and he's like, well, what did you forget? And she's like, candy.
Let's forget some candy.
Candy. So you should watch that and then sing.
I should.
Wait a minute.
I shall try it because it's totally that. It's always like, what? Seriously?
I'm like, that's totally Lucy.
100%. And anytime that kid could have some sugar, as if I deprive her of sugar.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
like-
what you need right before bed. A good sugar jolt.
Right? Well, as soon as she gets home, she's like, well, can I have a popsicle or can I have whatever? I'm like, well, why don't we get some like actual food to you? And
Let's
then
get
we
an
can.
apple or some grapes or
Yeah,
something.
and then we can talk about that. And I'm usually pretty like flexible. I'm not like I don't try and villainize sugar or anything.
No.
But then she'll be like, oh, like, well, can I like? And as soon
But there are better choices.
There are better choices. But she's always like, oh, well, can I have this? It's like always like the sugary, sweetest thing. I'm like, well, why don't we try? And like, it doesn't help too because they just got a bunch of loot bags because they had a bunch of birthday parties.
Oh,
and I'm like, well, can I have some of the loot bag? I'm like, well, have some
They have
real
a stash.
They have a stash just before Easter.
Or they're about to get more.
I know. And then like they got like a grandma trip and they got like a spoiled with some candy too, which is like fine. That's what grandparents do.
Yeah.
But and like thankfully they still have this bag, which I actually don't know where it is. So that's probably like, of more candy. I'm like, how much candy do my children need? And like I'm always like, make sure you rinse out your mouth with water.
Yeah. Have some water afterwards.
Have some water. Brush your teeth.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Kids are funny that way.
Yeah. Although I saw some unique ways of how to like do Easter without giving as much candy. Granted, I followed almost none of them, but there are ways. I saw one like with quarters, which I am planning on doing. But
Oh yeah, that's cool.
yeah, so I was like, oh, kids love money. I mean, they might go spend it on candy, but it'd probably be less than what you would.
Well, at least they have to walk to the store and
They
get
have
some
to-
exercise or something.
Exactly. And sometimes they might get distracted by a toy and they'd be like, well, you only have so much. What do you want to get?
And it's also like they have to make the decision
Exactly.
of what do I want to spend this money on.
Precisely. I saw another one where the person would like filled up with like little things. So you had like a yes day. You could stay up an hour later.
Ooh.
You could have like an hour of iPad time. Like different things, of course, that your kids would like. You could have a sleepover. You could do a movie night. You get to pick dinner. We can go like different things you can put
that's
into it.
cool.
And like I get like how maybe it could be more expensive, like if we're going out for dinner or something.
Yeah.
But, like, but at the same time, it's like
that's not a jelly bean bag.
no, it's not as cheap as the candy, but at the same time, like, oh well, you know, it's also family bonding stuff,
Yeah.
and you're not just giving them
You
sugar.
could also throw in a free hug.
Free hug. We're going a little cheap on some of these.
Yeah, one of them should be you can give mommy a back massage.
I should have give mom a foot massage.
That's your gift. You get to give me a massage.
Woo! Aren't you so excited? They'd be like, no.
You get an hour of sitting in complete silence.
Oh, isn't that so nice? So peaceful? Oh my god, every time we try and play the quiet game, we're like, okay, shh, go quiet. Because the past couple of days I've had headaches because of the rain.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, quiet, fairy voices. Okay, mom, okay. Oh, so anyways, it's like, you're like, okay, it's just gonna be quiet, great. And then all of a sudden, boom.
You know what was really funny? The last time I had them, I was driving them, right?
Okay.
So they were in the back of the car, and of course they're asking questions as they do. And
Yeah,
blah blah blah. And for whatever reason, I started singing,
My kids are parrots, they'll sing with you.
No, they didn't. They got
Really?
really quiet.
Oh, really?
and they were listening. I don't know if they've ever heard me sing or something.
Oh, so they wanted to listen to you?
Yeah, because I was singing "Summertime."
Oh.
And the living's easy.
Yeah.
You know, and I love singing that song. My parents used to sing it.
Oh,
right?
so now it's...
So I sang it, and the girls were just quiet and just let me keep going, and they didn't say anything. I was like, did they fall asleep? And it's like, no, they're actually listening to me.
See,
It's
when
like,
I sing, my kids are like parrots, and they'll sing with me. So
Oh,
then
okay.
Ianda loves it because we stim vocally in my house.
okay.
So as soon as I start making noises, even if the kids make a noise and it triggers me, I'll start to also do it. So then the three of us will all go,
Right.
and I'm just like, this is great.
Yeah.
This is lovely. He's like the only one. Like, he's also sometimes does vocal stuff too.
But it's definitely you three.
It's definitely the three of us, especially when it comes to like singing or repetitive of noises.
Right.
It's definitely the three of us, and I'm just like, this is great.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is lovely.
yeah. Well, they've been doing that since they were girls too.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the videos you have of them are just hilarious.
Oh my god.
And like Annabelle makes up the core amount of funny stories I have.
I know. She's a funny girl.
Yeah. I mean, Lucy, she's wonderful and amazing, but Annabelle is just so stoic and hilariously stoic.
She's very good at playing the straight face.
Yeah, she's so deadpan.
Yeah.
And like, you know, she doesn't even see that murder is bad.
No.
she
She
would
wouldn't.
like,
She'd be like,
yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Boom.
yeah. She has threatened to kill me before, so
I can totally see that.
in jest.
Yes, of course.
Thankfully,
Always in jest.
Always in jest.
I mean, she does love you. Always
Don't
stay
you-
on her good side.
Yes. Oh my god, right? Yeah. I know people, a teacher was like talking about like, you know, when Annabelle's being sassy that, you know, like she likes you.
Yeah.
Like the more she's like kind of rude and sassy to you, the more she likes you.
Yes,
If she's being
yes.
polite and nice to you, she probably actually doesn't like you.
Well, it's funny. You know, I've got that. I totally have my dad's humor. Like when it comes to little kids, like, you know, oh, well, I wasn't going to pick you up. I'm going to keep going or whatever, you know, like
Yeah.
stupid shit like that.
I do
right?
that with my kids too.
Yeah, I'm like, I totally got that from my dad. So I've done it with the girls
Yeah.
since day one. So we went to the, well, I can't remember what they call it. They don't call it the Sally Ann store, but we went.
Oh, like the thrift
and-
store.
Yeah, the thrift store that's near me. And I gave them a $10 budget.
Okay.
So, and Lucy, very Virgo of her, she's like, right to the penny. What
Oh,
is it?
yeah,
And I tried to let her get away with getting something that was more. She's like, but this is more, Nana. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay.
She is very like when you tell her something, she can be quite like,
Yeah,
This is it.
she didn't want to break that rule for herself.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So, anyways, so
it's funny because she's more willing to push that with me. She's
No.
like, "Oh, can I spend a little bit more? Maybe because I'm a soft touch with my kids.
right, and of course I can't say no to the girls, right?
Oh, they're too cute. You can't.
It is, and I couldn't say no to you and Marcel when we were shopping or
It's too
doing
hard.
whatever. It is too
I
hard.
always break my rules. As soon as I'm like, we're not buying anything.
Yeah.
I always need to buy at least something.
$30 later.
I'm like, oh, what did I do?
So we get back to my apartment,
Yeah.
and we're unwrapping our treasures, and I bought a couple of things too.
Yeah.
And one of the things was this teacup I found, right?
Okay.
So Lucy's helping me unpack, and she unwraps the teacup because I took out one of the toys, and I said, "Oh, wow, I really love this toy," as I do because
Yeah.
I'm being Nana and stupid.
Yeah. I
And
laugh because I
Lucy
do the
takes
same thing.
the teacup, and she's like, "Oh, I've always wanted this teacup," and she puts it in her pile, and I'm like, "Oh, you've learned quick."
She is. She's fast that way.
And I couldn't help but laugh because I'm like, "Oh my God, you're doing it to me now." It's like, that's awesome.
I know. You gotta watch Liz because she is very observant.
Oh, she is very observant.
And
yeah.
she picks up things very quickly.
Like Annabelle's very stoic and very like once she decides that's it. But Lucy, she watches more than you realize.
yeah, they're both very observant and
Yeah.
very like aware
Yeah.
of things.
And Lucy's a bit of a nosy Nelly.
Oh, 100%. Oh,
Like she'll go into shit that like you're not supposed to be in there.
oh my god.
She's found presents that I had hidden.
I'm not surprised by that.
And
She's very.
There
yeah.
was one time where I got a little upset because I wanted it to be a surprise. It was around a Christmas time. And her face just fell when my first reaction was
It
like,
was like,
what the fuck kind of thing.
yeah,
And
I've been there. I've had to learn really well to hide things really well.
yeah, well, I thought I had it hidden really
I
well. Well, she
usually-
was in an area she shouldn't have been in
Yeah,
to
I
begin
usually
with.
try and tell them because, like, I've learned that she is a bit of
Like-
a nosy Nelly.
My apartment is not free reign.
No.
Like, they've come out of the kitchen, having gone into the fridge, into the back caves of the fridge, and come out eating something. I'm like, where the hell did you get that? It's like,
Where did you find
why
it?
didn't you ask first?
I think it's because I usually don't let them. I don't want, like, typically I don't. They don't have to ask for food in the house. Like, if they're hungry, I usually, unless like I specifically say. I think it's because I usually specifically, if I'm saying something, it's for like something.
Yeah.
Like, you have to ask. So like, oh, okay. So you
I
have
always
to kind of.
I always had the rule to ask just because I wanted to keep a running inventory. Because if like say you've got
You don't
like
know.
10 pieces of cheese and your kids have eaten 9 and you don't know.
No, and then you only have one piece of cheese, but you need 5.
Yeah, exactly.
There.
It's like I'm not making you ask because I'm trying to control you. I'm asking because
And I
I
need-
have to have the inventory.
Keep track.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you on that. I've learned with the kids, I have to tell them specifically because Lucy is very rule driven. Doesn't
Yes,
mean
that's the Virgo. Virgos
not,
are very rule driven.
Yeah, not doesn't mean she won't still try and push it.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Of course, she still will be like, oh,
I'm Virgo rising. I know I push rules.
yeah, she's very like, oh, how strict is this
Yeah.
rule?
Can I ask for apology or can I ask forgiveness
After? And
as
it's-
opposed to permission?
Exactly. But like with gifts and stuff, I've told them like, okay, mom helps like the Santa, mom helps the Easter Bunny. I don't want you to ruin surprises for yourself. So you have to like not like look in this area. And they're like, oh, okay. And they've learned, like they've been
Yeah.
conditioned by me being like, and they're
That's
like, oh,
good.
okay. All right. And like once I tell them that, they're like, okay, that's fine. And they don't.
Yeah. Like my mom, I looked one year at Christmas.
Oh, I definitely looked as a kid. I
And
always
my
forget,
mom
though.
sat me down afterwards and said, do you know what you're getting? And I said, yeah, I saw a lot of it. And she's like, this Christmas, there won't be no surprises.
Yeah, it won't be magic.
It won't be as magical. And I'm like, oh. And she was right. Maybe it was the power of suggestion. I don't know. But I never looked after that.
Oh, you only have to make. I did that before, but my memory must be so terrible that I actually forgot
what you saw?
what I saw. I was like, oh, this is so great, and then I'm like, oh, I can't wait. And then I think it was also early. I think because you used to buy gifts pretty early,
I used to, yeah.
and so then by the time Christmas came around, I forgot
What it
everything
was.
I all saw. So
Sometimes I did too.
So I was like, wow, this is great. I forgot. There was a couple times I just saw myself being like, oh, I forgot that I saw this.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh shit.
Well, my brothers and sisters were even worse. They would open presents and re-wrap them.
Oh, see, I never did that. I only like looked to see
Yeah.
what was unwrapped. I would never like open a gift. That seems like
Well,
that
mom
was
would go.
that was my
right?
line.
Like dad went to work and mom would go out and run errands or whatever, and the kids would be like, "We can look and see what we're getting for Christmas now." And Kimber always said, "No, Rhonda won't look," and I never did. Right? I was like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm not looking."
I feel like opening the gift seems more malicious. Like
yeah,
that seems like
that's very sneaky. Like they would
That's-
slide a knife under the tape and just kind of they wouldn't open the whole gift, but they
that
would just open
seems
enough
like
to see
that
what it
seems,
was.
That's too much.
It is too much.
That
isn't
seems
it?
like I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like that must
I
be
mean, that's some lines being crossed.
I feel like that's some psychotic behavior. Like
Yeah.
that's like you should get maybe checked
Well,
out.
yeah, right. Because I know friends of mine would sometimes like take a box
Oh,
and
you go
shake it gently just to see if they could guess what was
Like,
inside.
what is this? Is it jingly? Is it like Lego or is it heavy and like
yeah, is it like a bag of socks or is
yeah?
it a box of
What
Lego?
does this feel like?
Yeah, exactly.
Which shape are you? And he has to do tricks and stuff to like make sure they can't.
Yeah. And it's weird because when my mother died, she died just before Christmas, like maybe a
I
couple of
remember that.
weeks before Christmas. And my brothers and sisters still talk about this, that she had everything wrapped and ready to go before she died. And it was just, and it was weird, first of all, getting presents from your mom, because you got a present too.
Yeah.
And that you knew that was going to be your last present,
Yeah.
right? And it was like, they often asked, did she know? Because you know, like, yes, she's usually pretty prepared for Christmas, but not that prepared. Like 2 weeks
No.
before Christmas, all the presents were bought, all of them were wrapped.
Yeah, I was gonna say having all the gifts bought 2 weeks before, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Having them all wrapped 2 weeks, that's like
Yeah.
that's impressive,
Right?
I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like, oh my gosh.
Because
that's
I
so
like
weird.
to be a preparer, and
Yeah.
even I'm like, that's a lot.
Yeah. And I like to get my wrapping done early because I don't like the pressure of you got to get all 20 of these presents wrapped in the
No,
next
see, I don't
2
wrap
hours.
gifts, but
Yeah, I know you don't, but that's my one thing that I do love. I love
the wrapping is nice. I do like doing the Santa bag though. I think it's
Yeah.
I do have fabric wrapping, so sometimes I do wrap other things to go into
Okay, yeah.
the bag. And this year, I actually used up a bunch of reusable bags because
You
there
also
was.
use craft paper this year because you painted some,
Oh yeah, I did.
Which was
I
cool.
did do that. Yes,
and that's all recyclable.
Yeah, so I do try
And or you can burn it like
yeah,
a wood
depending on what
thing.
I'm doing, I do things like, especially if I'm giving gifts to people, I do wrapping, but I do like something that I know that's like, oh, they can reuse this, or it's
So you're not
recyclable.
supposed to do this as a kid. I remember my nana, who was Scottish. No, she was an adopted nana, but she would wrap a log in wrapping paper because when you burn wrapping paper, it
Oh.
sparks colors. But it's like it's
That's
probably the
super-
worst.
Super dangerous, probably, and super toxic.
Yeah,
Don't breathe that in.
yeah. She would do it on her, and I always thought it was cool. I was like,
That
cool.
was great. She's like,
Look at all the pretty colors.
well, she's getting cancerous fumes in her body.
Exactly.
This is not
The
great.
things we used to do, because I used to, not used to, but I've been watching Mad Men.
Oh yeah,
I've been
I remember you saying that
and,
last time we
it's
talked.
like, oh my gosh, there's so many cigarettes. And
Oh my god!
so
all they
much
do,
booze.
all they do is this. It's just like every person.
I feel like I've been smoking after a couple of rounds.
Yeah, it's like, how do you guys even see each other with all the smoke? Like,
yeah. And how are you not all like dying of heart attacks and
heart attacks,
cancers
lung
and-
cancers. How do any of you still have your voice?
Yeah, right.
Like,
And the amount of sex that happens. How are you having sex because you're drunk
Well,
and smoking?
yeah.
all
Let's
the
be
time?
honest. The show is probably a drum.
Oh,
no, it wasn't.
It's TV sex, it's TV drinking, all that kind of stuff. I get it. It's probably
still.
apple juice they're usually drinking.
Yeah, they usually have some type of like.
They're not actually drinking, but still, nevertheless, it's being portrayed.
Yeah.
You know, like it's 10 o'clock in the morning, they're having a drink.
Oh my god, I barely have drinks. Like the one night I
I
had.
couldn't drink that kind of pace.
I barely drink once a month.
Yeah.
And when I do, if I have more than one drink, I'm like, oh, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Like I had the other night, I had like when this past weekend Yoli was in town, I had cruise, which is this like watermelon vodka drink, and then I had a cider, and I was like, oh, that was so much. Like, oh, I don't normally drink that much.
Going on a real bender there.
And like I hadn't drank for like months, and I was like, oh my god, so many drinks. What's wrong with me?
Oh, you're like a high school girl drunk on peach schnapps.
Oh my god, I know. It doesn't take much to get me feeling buzzy these days. 'Cause I don't.
No, it
I
doesn't.
never
Me neither.
have alcohol. Rarely. The most is usually like holidays or so. The summer I sometimes do because it's nice to have like a cider or something.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
when you barbecue, but I.
Well, I went out with Marty, a good friend of mine, and it was his birthday. It's his birthday at the beginning of April.
Oh, wow, look at you go.
So I had a beer.
beer.
And it
Wild.
it was a wild time. I was like, wow, I'm actually kind of feeling this. You know?
You don't need to drink as much if you don't drink. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna put that out there.
It's-
Take a few months and you have one drink.
And you're buzzed.
I went like out with Ianda with some coworkers and I had one drink,
Yeah.
a rum and a Coke, and I was like, I'm kind of feeling this. I'm like, I feel this is nice. Like,
yeah.
I think
I got all the worm and tinglies all over.
It was like, ooh, this is great. So you only need one drink and you feel real good.
And when I was young, I would drink with the purpose of getting drunk, right? Like that's
Yeah,
what I
when you're-
thought
when
alcohol was
When
for.
you're younger, you're like, it's not just for the enjoyment because you
it's
like it.
How fast can I get
Yeah.
this down? I was
And how sweet
powerhouse.
can I make it so that I don't actually notice the alcohol?
Yeah.
Now you can actually appreciate like the alcohol.
Yeah,
Not
that's true.
just-
That's
just-
true. Because it took
I mean-
a while for me to become a beer drinker. The only reason I became a beer drinker when I was younger was because it's cheaper.
It is cheaper, yeah. See, I never gone to beer younger. I got until I was older. But even still, I'm not a big beer drinker. It has to be like a sour beer.
Oh,
I like
okay.
sour
You like
beers.
sour beers. Okay.
Or Guinness, which is like two
Oh,
very.
that's like a soup. It's
I
a
I
meal.
like Guinness, but yeah, either sour beer or Guinness. Very.
Wow, that's quite.
I know I am nothing but a contradiction of myself sometimes. Trust me.
I tend to like lagers, although this one at Marty, it was an ale, I think.
Okay.
And your father was like, "Do you like it?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's actually not bad," because normally ale has a bit of a bitterness,
Oh.
and I'm not always a big fan of the bitter.
Oh, I
Papa,
like bitter taste stuff.
Papa likes the bitter, whereas I like the lager, which is not quite as bitter. It's a little smoother.
Oh. See, I like bitter stuff.
I like wine.
Bitter and sour.
Of course, you know.
And
And again, one comedian I was watching was like, we all pretend to be wine connoisseurs. It's like, but really, it's just red or white. What color do you want?
I have no interpretation of wine.
Yeah, yeah.
I know very little. Most of the wine I used to cook.
Right.
With.
Oh, okay.
Like, I rarely drink wine.
But
like,
you get real wine to cook with?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
chefs always say, use real wine, don't use
Yeah,
cooking
I
wine.
never use cooking wine. People like give me wine, like if I get gifted wine. I'm like, well, I
Yes.
don't really drink wine, especially if it's red, because red too, if you have like allergies,
It's-
have more histamines in them.
Yeah.
So I don't typically drink red very often.
Because then you start to snuff up.
You get
and...
you get sniffly. So I if I do drink wine, it's white typically.
But red
I'll
wine
do
is
rosé.
great in so many dishes too.
It's so good. I'd rather cook with it. I enjoy it more if I cook with it than if
Yeah.
I were to drink it. Like I've never been like, oh, wine. Like if
Right.
I'm gonna drink something, I'm like, I like a cider. Is my
I like white wine. I used to be a red wine drinker for a long time.
White wine's a lot better. I prefer white.
And if I'm gonna do a red wine, it's usually a Valpolicella, which is Italian. And
Limoncello.
my husband says,
Oh, your
"Whoa."
friend Lori says happy birthday, Rhonda.
Oh, thank you, Lori. Oh, Lori's amazing.
So your fancy Italian wine?
Well, I think it's a nice wine. Papa thinks it's a slum wine.
I think I'm gonna just say
He's very snobby.
I'm just gonna say sometimes some of the cheapest wine is the best. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna put that out there.
I love it.
The champagne I like. Now, granted, I have had some champagne that's very expensive. I'm like, well, I guess I can see why people.
Did
really...
you notice a difference between the expensive versus the non-expensive champagne?
I will say the more expensive champagne they've had does go down a little bit smoother.
Okay.
Which I mean, understandably so. It is expensive,
That's
so
what
I would
you're paying for,
That's
yeah.
what I'm paying for. No, granted, when we did get this really expensive wine, it was our anniversary and it was on the house, so I did have to pay
Ooh.
for this very expensive champagne.
Nice.
So.
Just makes it taste even
I was gonna
sweeter.
say that could have been why it tasted so great because it was free. But I've had we buy like $8 champagne
Like
and I
baby duck.
yeah. Exactly. But it tastes good. And, I wouldn't be like, oh, this tastes gross. Like, I still like it.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know.
I'm not a big champagne drinker, only because when I've had it, it's been like,
I like champagne, but I also like it with other things. I don't really necessarily drink champagne on its own. I will say the more expensive champagne, drinking on its own was nicer than if I were to drink the cheaper champagne. I wouldn't mind it, but I definitely prefer it if you're doing mimosas or whatever else you're mixing
right.
it
Yeah,
with.
I don't mind it in that. I love the idea of champagne,
Yeah.
Mutual, I'm sure.
Sure. That's all she goes. She just goes around the fire. Neutral, I'm
I always
sure.
think of the 1950s with those bowl kind of champagnes,
Oh, yeah.
and it's always like blonde Marilyn Monroe types that
Yeah.
are drinking it, and
It's
you're
okay.
at some steakhouse that has a dinner show. I would totally open a restaurant like that.
That would be really cool. I think that would be popular.
I think so too.
I think
Dinner and a show.
I would love a dinner and a show. I wish they had more experiences like that.
Yeah.
Because I like that. I
Yeah.
sometimes don't want to, especially because I mean, me and I talk all the time. I see this man all the time. I don't want to always talk to you. I just want to eat and we can watch something and then we can laugh and joke about it.
Yeah.
And then maybe after the dinner part's done, you can sit and chat during dessert and talk about what happened.
Yeah.
I'd rather that.
And I don't mean show I know there's places where you can go and have dinner and there's a comedian or something. But I mean like an old timey type show where there's a singer.
Yeah.
It's not a rock band. It's more maybe
Yeah.
jazzy or whatever.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. That's a nice change up. I would prefer that. I'm sure
I
there's
think
places.
that would be a great place and like you said, popular because like it'd be the place to go when you're having that anniversary or that birthday party or whatever.
I'm sure
right?
places do have things like that from time to time. I just don't think there's like a place that probably does it like all the time, right? Like it's not like it's like
or
not
does
their-
it in that like it's a nice dinner.
Yeah,
and
I
a
agree.
show.
I agree. It's more
Yeah.
of a typically casual,
Yeah.
or sometimes you might get the odd musician, like they might have, the odd musician in, but it's not like it's not the same. Maybe they might be more off to the side. It's not like
Yeah.
the person, like it's not like a show. It's just like they
Yeah.
have music going on
Yeah.
while
yeah.
you're eating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I was like, no, that'd be kind of cool because I do watch a lot of those older films.
Yeah,
And I'm
then
like-
you always see that.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to kind of go back to that kind of
I agree.
with a bit of a modern twist of some kind.
Yeah, and you can still do other things too. Like, doesn't mean you can still have other things that you put
Yeah,
on.
like maybe Saturday night is always the night we do dinner and a show, but we don't do it all through the week
Yeah,
necessarily or whatever.
or you might just
right?
have like maybe that's your big show, and then other times it's just like a smaller ensemble with maybe a singer. So like
Yeah.
maybe not quite the same production or something.
like
but
Emily Fennell, for instance.
yeah,
I went to see her at so many bars and stuff. She's awesome.
Yes, yeah. There's still people that do bar stuff, but
Yeah.
not as. It's more like.
She's on a European tour right now.
Is she? That's cool.
Yeah.
European.
I talk to her once in a while.
You're so popular.
I know.
You're so cool, bro.
I like to think I am because Emily Fennell talks to me
Just
and
name-
comes to see me. Yeah, I just dropped that name there.
She's name dropping. It's okay. It's her birthday. She's allowed to name drop.
I'm allowed to name drop. Yep.
You get one name drop on your birthday.
Oh, do I? Okay, because I was gonna say I have a couple more.
Okay,
but
fine.
No, that's
you
okay.
Get however many your age is, so that's a lot.
That's yeah. We could be here all
All
day.
day.
I don't think I have enough names to drop for the birthday.
All right, then you get to do 6 name drops now.
No, I got a couple celebrities in my book that I
I am my own celebrity.
You are, yeah. Well, I just said I'm a rock star, so there you go.
See, everyone is their own celebrity.
That's right.
If you celebrate yourself like you're famous, everyone is going to think you're famous.
Exactly. And I've been semi-famous in certain occasions.
Yes.
I've been known by a couple of things. The Pamper Kitty was one of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
People still talk about the Pamper Kitty.
I know. Every once in a while it gets brought up.
I
I'm
know.
like,
Sometimes some people will say it. I'm like, oh, my mom owned that. It's like, that's a weird flashback. Ugh.
and now I'm known as Lady Rose.
Lady Rose.
And again, your father thought it was too common.
Lady
I'm too
Rose.
common for him.
You're too common. I
Yeah.
don't think you're common at all.
Oh, thank
I think
you.
if anything, you're just a little too weird.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, that fits.
a little too odd.
It's definitely on point.
Yes, I mean, it's okay.
I
Well,
embrace my oddness and my weirdness.
Yes.
It's taken a long time to embrace that. As a woman, especially women of my generation and older, it took a long time for us to come out and be okay with being
Come out of
weird.
the closet.
Come out of the weird closet. And be okay with our own weirdness, that we don't have to fit into this mold that we've been given and told you gotta, mold yourself.
Conform and
Yeah, because the nice thing, like people bitch about your generation, going, oh, they're entitled and they
we're just children. They
Yeah.
always say millennials are just
children
at
that want to
heart.
start at the top of the ladder as opposed to the bottom.
We don't want to climb up the treehouse. We want to be in the treehouse already.
And in charge of the tree
Yeah,
house.
we know everything that there is to know.
But the one thing I do love about your generation is there's not as many molds.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're willing to break some of those molds a little bit. Not always, like you're not ready to smash them necessarily.
No.
But, there's like, yeah, no, maybe we can do this different.
Yeah, I definitely think there's more acceptance of the weird.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and I've never really felt like I can't not be weird.
Yeah, yeah. And like I love weird. And people sometimes think I'm staring at weird, like when there's weird people doing weird things. Like
Just imagine you staring at people and you're like,
because I'm fascinated by it. I'm not looking because I'm going, oh, that's weird. I'm looking because I'm like, that's kind of cool.
yeah,
Let me
I'm
keep looking
digging
at
that.
this. Yeah.
I do sometimes look at people like that's weird, but I'm not gonna
Yeah,
judge
I
you.
mean,
You do you. I'm not gonna
There's
yuck
some
no one's
fashion
yum.
choices I've been like, really? But
Oh,
then it's
yeah.
like, okay, well, again, you do you, and
Yeah,
you know,
you live your life.
yeah, live it to the fullest.
It's more like behaviors people do. I'm like, that we've decided to choose to act like that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's
odd,
true.
but I
Yeah.
don't really judge people's appearance or look or anything too much, unless it's something very jarring. That I was like, I was not
I
expecting
like
to see
looking
that.
at weird appearances.
Well, I
But
mean,
again,
more
I
like
feel
weird,
like I'm staring at them.
it's more like weird, like I didn't need to see that much skin of you.
Oh,
that I
yes,
didn't know.
yes. Leave something to the imagination.
I
yeah.
mean, like I don't want to slut shame, like to each their own.
No,
But there are sometimes
no,
where I'm
no.
like, oh,
But at
I
the
wasn't
same
expecting
time,
that.
there is appropriate and, sort of like, maybe that's an around the house kind of look.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like the middle of summer, like sometimes I'm like, oh, makes
I-
sense. It's
yeah.
dead of summer. I don't care. You come out in the
Yeah.
skimpiest thing you want because
Whatever
it's hot.
is keeping you cool
Oh.
and calm.
Exactly. But like sometimes I'll see it where it's like the dead of winter where like
Yeah.
it's so cold and I'm like, why are you
Or I
wearing
want to wrap them in a sweater or blanket because I'm cold.
I know.
Because I'm looking at
like
you.
watching you and what you're wearing? I'm like, there's no way you're not like losing sensation to your body somewhere. This has to be damaging
Can
to
you
you.
get frostbite on your stomach? Because I think you're going to.
Oh my god, I know. I've seen that so often. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Exactly. Do you not have the budget for a full shirt?
It's like, I'm like, if you want to wear a crop top, at least wear like a sweater and then a jacket. And then when you get into somewhere warm, then you can wear the crop top.
yeah, you can layer it off or
Yeah,
whatever, right?
I don't have a problem with you wearing your crop top, but maybe when you're outside where you can get frostbite.
But there's a reason they call some clothes winter clothes and some clothes summer clothes.
It's true.
If someone's in the summer and wearing parkas, you're going to think that's weird too.
That's true.
Right?
I was actually talking to a mom at the bus because she was talking about how her son in the summer will wear sweats, but in the winter will wear shorts.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, it doesn't make sense. She's like, he's never appropriately dressed for the right weather. Like she has.
I see a lot of guys that wear shorts in the summer.
Oh my god!
And it's like, come
or
on.
in the winter, you mean?
Or in the winter, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I meant the winter.
I
But
knew what you meant.
yeah.
Don't worry.
It's like, put some full pants on.
I know you see that a lot. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
You're going to have fat calves.
Yeah, it's true. The fat goes where you're cold. I remember you saying that because I remember you was talking about like the stomach, and women naturally get more pouch because you need fat around here.
But if you wear a lot of mini skirts in the winter, you'll get fat knees.
Oh, fat knees. That's a weird one.
I know, right? But
I'm trying to imagine like fat knees right now.
because
in
your
my head.
body adjusts to what you are doing, so it will put fat. So if you want big boobs,
Just go topless in the winter. Cover everything else
not
up.
sure that's how that works, but
I'm willing to try.
we've all done the
I should do that with my
exercises of,
butt.
like in Greece when they were doing exercises to
Oh.
make their busts bigger.
You could just work out.
Yeah.
I've been doing lots of glute stuff.
Oh,
And I'm like,
can
finally,
you bounce a quarter?
I don't know if I can bounce a quarter, but I mean,
Some people. Oh my gosh, I was watching Interview with a Vampire last night, the TV show.
I've heard really good things. I haven't watched it
It
yet.
is good.
but I've
I
heard
didn't
very
even
good
know there
things.
was a TV
Oh,
show.
I did, because I know I like the one actor. He's from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
And he is a musician too. He's a singer. Very good. If you ever
like Lestat, the guy that plays the.
the black guy. I don't know what
Oh,
he
that's,
plays. He plays
Leduc.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, both very good, but of course in one scene they're nude,
Yeah.
and Lestat, you can see the back from Lestat, which is a white guy, right? His ass is like, wow,
Bubble butt.
taunt.
Now I really need to watch this show.
I was just like, my God. And then in another scene, he kind of strips off and you get a glimmer of the
Glimmer.
butt. And 'cause he
Flashback.
sleeps nude in his coffin, right?
I mean, don't we all?
Of course, who doesn't, right?
I mean, I always sleep nude. So.
And there was one scene where it's funny because, like, the younger Leduc doesn't have his coffin yet, right?
Oh, okay.
So they eventually get it, right? And they're in their coffins. And Lestat, the older one, says, I don't like to sleep angry. So they open their coffin, they have a discussion. But they're each in their own coffins.
My God, I'm gonna have to watch it. I've heard really good things, but we're currently still watching. We have one more episode of Severance left.
Oh, okay, okay.
And
then you're
and
waiting
then-
for the next season?
yeah, which I'm not. We both are like, we know this is gonna be. We're gonna have a hangover from this show.
Yeah, they can't complete it in just one episode.
I know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's funny though, because I told Anna, like, we watched it last night because we watch an episode a day of whatever we're watching.
Very disciplined.
We're very disciplined. Yeah, if we do watch 2, it's very exciting. That's a wild night. We've watched 2 episodes or something.
Rock and roll, baby.
Woo, or a whole movie. That's really crazy.
It must be a Saturday night.
Woo! It really, I laugh because it is. That's what we do. It's Friday or Saturday nights because those are our weekends. And we can sleep in if we want.
In theory.
In theory, we don't usually, but we like to think we could.
Yeah.
But I'm just finally at the point where like, oh, I'm enjoying the journey of the show.
Yeah.
Because I find like when you get it, for anyone who's watched Severance, it's crazy. It's a mind fuck of a show.
It is.
And you immediately want to be like, I want the end. You know, like,
yes.
you know, you're like, I want to know.
Like, where is this going?
Yeah, what's the end? I need to know everything. And
preview me.
Yeah, just I want to read like the end of the book and know everything that's happening. That's exactly how Severance makes you feel right from the get-go. And you feel that way for most of it.
Yes,
and
you
it's
do.
just been like the last few episodes of the second season that I'm like, okay, now I'm like on the point where I'm just enjoying the journey now.
Yeah, yeah.
Ian, on the other hand, is not.
Oh.
He's still at the point of like, I'm not in the journey. I want to know.
Yeah, because at the beginning you're definitely like, I don't care if it's spoiler alert. Tell me what's gonna
Oh
happen.
my god, I know. Well, because like we were and he got so angry because it was after. Angry. He got so angry. He was so mad about the one episode of when they go back to her hometown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't want to give too much away. And he was like, "What? That I didn't want to know anything about that. I just want to know about the story."
Yeah, they take a left turn and you're like, what
they
the
kind of
hell?
do a bit of a side.
But we're going this way.
They do a bit of a side story for a bit, and he was so mad. He's like, I'm like, but that was so interesting. It gives us more background, and we can. He's like, no. It's like, I want to know more about this. Oh, he was so upset. And I'm like, just enjoy the journey now. Like I'm like in the journey. He's like, no.
Have you watched Squid Games?
Yes, we have.
And that's a bit of a mind
That
fuck
is
too.
a mind fuck. That one, Have
you done the second season?
Yeah, we've watched all the seasons.
Yeah, me too.
Gosh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see where they're gonna go.
How the hell are you?
I know, right? I think they're supposed to only do like 3. I think the 3rd season might be the last season if I remember.
Oh, okay.
Don't take that for truth.
Yeah,
but
she's not one of the producers.
I'm not one of the producers. I unfortunately haven't been invited to the meetings yet.
Yeah, the read-in tables.
I keep reaching out and they keep declining me. It's unfortunate. Because I'm so famous.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so well known.
She's such a great TV consultant.
Yeah, with my 1 episode a day. I watch so much TV. But yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. I like that one.
We're just after
and that was a good one where you didn't know what the hell was going to happen.
You don't know, but
you couldn't even guess.
You couldn't even guess. I think that one is nice because it does force you to just enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Because you can't, there's no guessing. Like you can try, but just as soon as you think you know something, you don't. You don't know.
Have to release the need to control.
Yeah, you know Jack. Yes. Like you're just as one of the participants as any other.
Yeah.
But your life is not on the line. But it feels like it sometimes.
Yeah, and then you're like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do it for real, but I want to do it.
I want to do it just to prove that I could if I was ever in this
situation. Just to show you that I would do it better.
Yeah, which you wouldn't. Let's be. Especially because like you wouldn't have the same pressure.
Yeah.
This is not your life in your hands.
Yeah.
You're not gonna die because you did succeed.
Exactly.
Such a good show. That's a really good one. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, they're gonna do I think it's like 1 or 2 more seasons and then it's like done.
Oh, okay.
But that's another good one. I'm just trying to think of other shows that we
and okay, this is off top. It's still TV, but off topic.
Okay.
So Survivor has come to like Prime, I think now.
Oh, I've never.
And they're in their like 9th or 10th or 11th season. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Bajillion season. I've never really got too far in Survivor. Yeah, I think I watched the first season.
Yeah, I watched the first 2, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of done.
It's kind of like the same thing.
It is the same stupid shit.
I get like that. People like that, right?
But they're not really surviving. Like when I found out they got rice on the side and vitamin supplements.
Well, they can't endanger their lives.
Well, no, but I mean, there's other shows where
they legitimately.
Shit is real here, right? Like they are legitimately trying to survive. Like I think one's called Alone that I've watched regularly.
Oh, I've seen that one.
And like they put them out there.
Yeah, there's some scary shit.
Yeah, right? Like a couple of contestants have been taken off because they do health checks. Of course. Yeah. And they've been taken off because they've lost so much weight.
Yeah, like you're too like you're too much in a
But they're like, 30 days out there or 40 days out there, whatever.
I feel like I don't know. why I can't comprehend the desire to test
Oh,
my
I do. I completely understand that
no.
desire.
I
I would be in it 100%.
If the contest was could you survive on a cottage with everything provided and have no human interaction?
Yes, I would totally be all over
I would be
that.
like, that's
I can glamp alone, no problem.
yeah. You provide me with the supplies of books and whatnot. I mean, I think maybe eventually
Books.
I would get a little stir crazy.
But I think you and I could survive. Like,
I could
it's
survive
not the
a while.
alone part that would bother
No,
us.
it would be the not doing something. But if I had a cottage and I had enough,
Just provide
give me a cottage with all, well,
with
like
books and craft supplies and food, and I'm
I'm
golden.
fine. I'm fine. I don't need anything else. I'll be. I could go for a while.
And it's surprising because often the women do really well on these shows.
I can see that.
A lot of the guys
100%.
go a little bit bananas.
I can 100% see that. Men, I think I feel like this is sexist when I say this, but also and stereotype. But men like to hear themselves talk. And
if they're the only ones listening.
And they're the only ones listening, then they realize how much bullshit that comes out of their mouth. Doesn't
they've
mean
never
I don't
had
have
to
bullshit
listen.
that comes out of my mouth, but
Well, they've never had to listen to themselves.
no, everyone else listens to them. And I think, like, I don't mean to, like blanket statement, but
No,
I think there's a lot of,
but-
like, things where, like, when men talk, people are just like, like, and
Yeah.
just, like, you know, agreeing or listening or actively engaging with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so women are used to, once
Not
again,
being heard.
not being heard, being ignored, or not being acknowledged what they say. So we're used to kind of talking to ourselves and just validating our own, like, thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, men go stir crazy because there's not that outside validation, where women are used to just giving our own internal validation.
Plus, men tend to get a lot more. Again, I don't want to make a blanket
This is not for
statement,
everyone. This is
No.
just a broad, like,
but I find men tend to get a lot more done for them, whereas women have to be more resourceful and like just do our own shit.
I also
right?
think men also have to have that praise, like, "Oh, good job,
Oh
you did
yes,
that too."
yes, we don't need that.
We're
oh,
like
we
that's
can do it.
yeah, like
if
if we do it, I'm like, okay, I did that. That's great. Like we can
like we'll catch the fish and then we'll go out and pick some wildflowers and go, here's my little treat because I caught the fish.
yeah, woo, I did
Whereas
it.
a man would be like, I caught the fish, but no one's here to see it.
Yeah, no one's saying good job.
Yes.
You're so manly. You did it. You saved the world because you caught one fish. No
But
one's gonna die
On
today.
those shows, you know, like I'm stubborn. I know this.
Yes.
it's my Taurus coming through, but I would stay out there just to not be the first one to leave. I know someone's got to be the first one, but you know, like I would have to stay at least a minimum of 3 weeks before if no one else tapped out, then I would tap out if I'm like dire.
Yeah,
right?
if it was like at the end.
But I would not do it within the first week. I couldn't do it within the first 2 weeks, just for pride alone.
I feel like I like the comfort of my life too much to even put myself in that predicament.
Well, what's strange is most women that go out there do comfort. Like they'll provide.
That's
and
what you
make
want.
comfort.
You want comfort.
They make little nests for
Well,
themselves.
because you have to. Because if
Yeah.
you don't have comfort, like obviously water and food.
Yes.
that's crucial. That's important.
But
Fire,
shelter is good.
But shelter, like having that comfort, men do often focus on like food, water,
Yeah, fire.
and
Yeah.
like, and then they're like, oh, but then they have a shelter that's like barely
and it
standing.
rains and they're getting soaked.
And then their fire goes out because they didn't protect their.
or they're sitting in what sort of is kind of a bed that they've made. And
Yeah.
they're da, 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 da. Whereas women are like, oh, this is so lovely.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I'm actually getting a little hot.
I made myself a down feather blanket while I was out here.
Oh, and like oftentimes too, like obviously you need protein, but women tend to scavenge more. Like we're willing to like look for things and find
Yes.
stuff. I mean,
Yes,
obviously
men
there's a
don't do that.
they're very much like must find trap, must kill something,
Yeah.
must eat,
and that's
meat.
important,
That's
definitely.
like you need the balance of both.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very focused on like and that
the
obviously
last
takes a
thing
lot of
that they
energy.
do is gather, right? Whereas one woman, she was doing hunting and gathering, and she's the one that made the sauna. And she had like a whole house, and she had made a sauna. She had
like,
like
"I
a
could
little.
stay out here
She made
forever."
a guitar for herself, and she had gathered, and she had a bunch of medicine because she got a couple really bad spider bites that are quite
dangerous.
Like, they won't kill you necessarily.
But they can fever, sick.
Yeah, but she
kind of-
made herself a poultice and put it on there, sucked all the venom out.
That's so impressive.
Yeah.
I don't think. I feel like if you were gonna go on a show like that, though, you would like take the time if
To
you were
research?
and like
Yes.
really know your shit. Like hire someone who knows their stuff about gathering, and like because that's like something you need to have someone who knows.
Yeah.
because you can read
Who
about
knows
it,
the flora
who
of
actually
the place.
knows. Yeah. Because if you're reading it, it's there's so much things you can like confuse.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you really need to know. So it's like really important to know because God forbid if you just accidentally mix up this one plant versus the other plant.
Yeah, and they like because plants will often mimic other plants
100%
to create that the defense.
Yeah, and you
or
need
whatever.
to learn because oftentimes like whatever
And
is
mushrooms.
the opposite of one of the other, they tend to grow together.
Yes,
It's kind of weird how nature works that way. There's always that balance, right?
and mimicking each other. I look just like you, and
Yeah.
now they're gonna eat you, not me, or whatever, right?
But if they ate you, that would counteract what I do.
Exactly.
So they better not remember you.
And like mushrooms, you got to be deadly, and I mean
Oh.
deadly.
You have
careful.
to like you need to know.
yeah,
you need to
gotta have
know.
some
And
experience.
even then, there's still
Oh
risk,
yeah, even experienced foragers can make mix up.
mistakes, and
Yeah.
it's like it's fucked if you
Yeah.
do.
And if you do mushrooms, don't eat a whole fucking mushroom.
Just take a little bite,
Because on naked
or like
and
just
alone,
hold it in your mouth
yeah.
and see what happens. That's usually what they tell you. Hold it in your mouth, and if nothing happens, then you should be okay.
Well, hold it in your mouth and see what your body does, because your body will tell you.
You have something. I heard something too. Actually, the other thing I've heard was to rub it
Oh,
on your
yeah.
arm and your skin, and then if your skin's reacting,
That's a good
then
idea.
you know,
Yeah,
and then
there
you're
you
not
go.
poisoning yourself right directly to the source.
Oh, yeah, this is poison. Because on Naked Alone, there was a guy that had.
The Naked Alone show's so crazy.
It is so stupid. I'm like, okay,
Why do they have to be naked?
Yeah, right. It's just a hook.
Just make
right?
them alone.
Yeah,
Why do they have to
alone
be
is fine. I don't need
Naked
to.
seems like too much.
And then
I
you
always
get,
think
like,
about stuff
these
getting
weird people.
into my I just
I
think
know,
like
right?
my legs immediately went across my legs. I'm like, oh,
I'm
things
crossing like everything.
the boobs, like
boobs, the underarms. I don't want
underarms.
anything there. I don't want anything in my crotch.
the crotch is what really would bother me.
Yeah.
I can handle
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
but the crotch would be like, no.
Yeah, and the feet.
My immediate thing would be like, yeah, feet. My first thing would be making underwear of some sort.
Underwear and
And
shoes.
shoes. Those would be my first two priorities.
Before
Fire anything.
water.
I give a shit. I need underwear and I need shoes.
But I guess they're like together, like it's a man and a woman together, right?
I've seen that.
And
yeah.
and one guy, he found some mushrooms, and he took a couple. Like he ate
Oh,
a couple of
why
bites.
would you take a
And the woman's like, oh, I don't know. And he got really sick. I think he may have had to be airlifted out even. But yeah, it was like, yeah, don't
No, I've
swallow
heard-
until
and
you know for sure.
I've heard when if you're doing anything, always rub it on your skin. That's why they always have you like test things, like hair even, like, or like hair
yeah.
where they test stuff. But like makeup and things like that, like test on
it.
your skin on spot
Yeah.
and then see if you react. And
Yeah.
if you don't, probably okay.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
it's not 100% guarantee.
No.
But it's certainly a better guarantee than being
And
like,
then
let
put
me
it-
just take a few bites.
Test on your crotch.
And then test right on your crotch.
Oh no, that's not good.
No. Oh, I'm just like underwear. Underwear would be
Underwear,
the
very
first
important.
thing. I'd rather underwear than shoes even.
I've often asked in that Alone show, not Naked Alone, but the Alone show, where they send you out
Yeah.
to the middle of nowhere. I've also often asked Papa, like, how many layers of clothing are you allowed to wear? Like,
I would wear so many layers. I'd be like
Could you
I would be like
a few
Joey
pairs
on the Thanksgiving episode.
exactly.
Or is it the Thanksgiving episode?
Yeah. I'm wearing all your clothes. It's like,
Even
can you
your
get away
underwear.
with a few things, like a couple pairs of socks. A few
How many
pairs of
things can I
underwear.
slip into my clothing? Like, can I
Yeah.
do inside pockets with things you don't even
Yeah.
know?
Could I slip a couple chocolate bars in
Yeah.
there?
I was thinking like,
A
pills.
book.
I was thinking like pills for the water.
Yeah.
And medicine and like a
Yeah.
little pocket. She's thinking luxuries. A book and chocolate. I'm here. I'm like, water tablets, a knife, some medicine just in case.
Well, you're allowed to bring a knife.
Oh,
You
okay.
have to bring. You're allowed to bring 10 things,
Okay.
right? So
Water
outside-
tablets.
yeah,
Or like water tablets, a water bottle, or like a metal something to hold water.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the 10 things that most people bring.
And then a knife.
And you're allowed to use anything you find.
That makes sense.
So some people find some really cool stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's
what would you bring? What would be your 10 things that you would... You said 10?
Yeah, you're allowed
what
to
would be your 10 things that you would bring?
Happy birthday. Thank you for the laughs and smiles. Oh, you're welcome.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
10 things. Well, I definitely bring some kind of cooking pot of some kind.
You have to.
Yeah. I would prefer cast iron, to be quite honest.
Cast iron would be good. I would almost, my thought was like metal container that would be good. Like, because sometimes I'm sure some type of, I don't know, I don't go outside enough and do outdoorsy stuff, but I'm sure some outdoorsy person has developed a water bottle pot thing.
Probably.
That you could have as both. I would get that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm like, because that's like 2 things in one.
One thing that one of the women brought was you're allowed to bring like, it's like a salt thing that you carve salt stuff off of, like those salt lamps, but it's horrible. And she brought that and she seasoned everything. And I'm like, that would make a world of difference.
Well, you need salt. People forget that you need the salt. Because if you can drink as much water as you want, but sometimes you're so dehydrated, it's because you need salt. You need electrolytes. Right. So you can get dehydrated by even drinking water because you don't have enough salt.
Well, that's the thing. Like when pilgrims used to go on pilgrimages, they often brought bread and salt.
Yeah.
Those were the 2 things.
So salt would definitely be something I would bring.
Back before processed food became a thing.
Yeah. So salt would be something I would bring.
Yeah. Salt.
Salt, water tablets.
I would almost want to bring flour. Because if you have flour
and water, you can just do about anything.
You can do bread, you can do pancakes,
and you could get yeast. You could make your own. I was gonna say you could make your own starter because you could get yeast from the outside.
And that's totally what I do. And I'd want to bring a jar.
A jar, yeah,
so I can have the starter. Yeah,
and you can make bread you can make.
Can you imagine? Like I have a little makeshift house with bread, and I've got a bread oven, and
you could survive just on bread and salt.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd still want more than that, but if you had to,
you could. There's a lot of peasants back in the day that's what they survived on, and turnips.
Yeah. And if you could find a root plant, you'd be okay because that's you could get a lot from that. Yeah. Because they have a lot of nutrients, your root plants.
Yeah. So you have to know what roots you can eat and just throw it into a pot and make some soup. Yeah. Like people are on the show making fish soup, which is great when they catch fish and stuff, but they get tired of it. And it's like, throw some fucking vegetables in there.
Your body needs
You're surrounded by woods.
You need way more nutrients than what you're asking for. Like, start looking and identifying, digging down.
Well, like even the natives used to do pine tea. Yeah. You know, things like that. That's where you're getting your vitamin C. Because sometimes I can tell that they're lacking that vitamin C and stuff. And it's
not.
Yeah, it's like, go find an evergreen.
Get some fucking vitamin C in you. That's why I think it's so important to education. I don't almost want to bring a book of identification too.
That's one of my 10 things.
That's my 10 things. Knife, of course, for sure.
Knife, definitely. A tarp.
I was going to say tarp, a fire starter, because you see those people all the time that are like,
oh yeah, and that doesn't work.
You have to be really experienced.
Very experienced and know that it takes time. People think it's like, 15 minutes.
Oh my God, no, it's forever. And you have to like be so dedicated.
No, flint is just easier.
Yeah. Flint, salt. I can see why you said flour. I can see why you say that. And that is a smart thing because then you won't have to worry at all about making food. Because even if you didn't get the yeast, if you just did water and flour, you'd still have something.
You can make yeast from there.
You can make yeast from there,
and you can even beer.
Well, you can even just cook up the flour and the water with the salt, even if you needed to.
Yeah.
You know, the first day if you just need to make like little pancakes, essentially.
Yeah.
Sure, they're not going to be the best.
No, but you tap a tree, you got some sugar.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, that's a great way. I was thinking that too. I'm like, you can tap a tree. I've seen ways to tap trees. Could I do it? I'd probably not. I've seen it though.
But she could figure it out. You're very smart at figuring stuff out. You're so smart at that. You got that skill from your father. He's good at that too.
Yes, I am good at problem solving. Yeah. And when I do set my mind to figure out something, I'm like, I can do this. Because I do remember the way they had to cut the tree.
Oh, okay.
And like having to use the stick to dig it in, and they had to do it like a certain angle, and it would probably take me a few tries, and I'd probably get frustrated, but I would eventually get there.
Right.
Because that would be a good way to get some sugars, and sugars would help you a lot too.
And maple syrup or tree syrup has a lot of nutrients, magnesium, and
it would be very hydrating for you.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So, I mean, I feel like we could do this. I feel like we're hyping yourself. I went from I can't do this to now I'm like, maybe I can do this. We've hyped ourselves up.
Yeah, you got your knife, you make your little hole.
Yeah. Well, you have to cut it. You have to cut it a certain way. So you have to like cut, you don't want to cut straight in. You have to do it like at an angle.
I was thinking of the spigot that you'd put in.
Well, you put in the way that they do it, you would still cut an angle. You wouldn't cut it in the same way. And instead of the spigot, you'd have to like cut a twig.
Yeah.
And
you'd like hole it out.
Well, you don't have to hold it out. You can just stick it in and it will drip down the stick.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can hold it.
There you go.
So you don't have to like do the whole process of that.
Yeah.
So see, I'm teaching you things.
Yeah. Well, one guy, he made wooden spoons, which was really cool. But he made like 20 of them, and he won. And when his wife came, like, because they bring your family, right?
Yeah.
So they brought his
Here's
wife.
a wooden spoon for you.
And he's like, I made Christmas presents for everybody.
I mean, that's kind of a cool present. Like, I was on this show and I survived and I made spoons. Yeah. And this is, here you go.
It's like, that's awesome.
That's actually kind of a cool gift.
Yeah.
I would love if someone gave me that. I don't know if I'd use it. I would probably just hang it up.
No, but even if it's a decorative thing in your kitchen.
I think that's so cool.
It's like, hey, I got someone that was on this show.
Was his wife like, that's so great? Or like, was she like, oh.
No, she was like, that's so great.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the few men that actually nested.
He knew.
He had an
indoor
little
safety
fire, and his bed was all beautiful. And because some of them will bring like a sleeping bag kind of thing, because it can get really
I was gonna
cold,
say
so.
that's another thing, the hypothermia. Like, especially if you're alone. Hence the name. I can see why I feel like that would be another one.
Or
of
if
my
you got
things.
wet, you maybe fell into the water a little.
You need
more.
something warmth.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely bring like one of those.
Can you bring medicine? Do people bring medicine? Is that something you?
They have a first aid kit that doesn't count in your.
Oh,
in your
smart.
tent
Okay, that makes sense because you need, like, you're gonna very likely get hurt.
Yeah, there's gonna be some bumps and bruises, and you might need some treatment for a cut or something, right? So yeah, they do have a first aid kit. Now, anything beyond what the first aid kit can do, you're supposed to, like, they have a satellite phone.
Oh, okay.
And they have about 40 pounds of camera equipment.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because
40 pounds, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, it is.
Not
a lot
including
more
like
than
what you add. Because
Yeah.
easily what you would add could be like anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds.
Yeah.
So you're looking at like, that's a lot of weight.
Because one guy decided, like, you get an area that you're allowed to
kind of
figure out, camp in or whatever. And he set up a camp here, and then he decided to move his camp, and it was like across the area. And he's like, this is a big decision to make.
Well, that's a lot of energy you're like choosing to move.
Yeah, and he had to drag all this camera equipment.
God.
Now, it is in a case, or there's a couple of cases, and a lot of people will use the case as like a seat or a table. So it does kind of, it's a pain.
But there's
And you don't have to drag it everywhere that you go. It's just, you always have to remember to set up a camera, then walk the trail, set it up ahead, then walk the trail.
So annoying. What if you forgot to? You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Then you don't get on the show.
That's true. We did all this for nothing.
Exactly. Because I'm always thinking, like, it'd be better if there was someone out there with me and just taping.
Yeah, just tape with me. Except for then they'd have to eat their own thing, and then you smell their food. You're like, I'm so hungry. I'd rather be stuck with my own voice.
Yeah, it'd definitely take away from the show if there were cameramen or women.
My God, though.
But yeah, there's a lot of women last a long time.
I could see that. I could see why. I could see women. Women are also used to like discomfort and pain, I think, opposed to men.
Yeah.
Men like to think they're, once again, this is a broad thing. So this is obviously
there's some truth to
there's
it.
not like, this is not for every person. So don't, like, if this doesn't reach you, don't take it personally.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people take things personally.
Like, don't be coming on here going, I'm a man, I'm very strong, and I've been under torture.
Men tend to be like, but men, like, aren't used
We
to
bring
this.
life into this world,
As
and
I
trust
say-
me, that's a painful
As
process.
I say, oftentimes, we go through once a month, and especially depending if you have a certain disorders, it's more than once a month,
Yeah.
or it's even longer for more than like a week
Yeah,
of discomfort every month.
Yes.
Not including just like normal discomfort in our day to day.
Yeah.
And so women are just told to be used to discomfort. So we're just used to just being like, okay, that hurts, categorizing it and then putting it away.
Yeah,
And not
yeah.
letting it overcome us.
yeah.
Where I think
yes,
men,
we do get moody, but
but men get moody too.
They
Men
do.
are just as emotional.
Yeah.
They just like to it's propaganda, in my
Yes.
personal opinion, that men aren't
and
moody.
it presents in a different way,
It presents in a different way, and it's a lot.
and that's
men-
okay because men and women are different.
That's exactly. But I do think, but women are used to discomfort.
Yeah.
So being in that situation, if something's discomforting, you're like, okay, that's fine. Like we have a higher
We're often-
tolerance.
Yeah, and we're often told to grind through the pain.
100%. You hear tons of stories of women being gaslit about like severe period pains. They're like, well, that's just normal. And then later on finding out, oh, actually, no, it's not normal. You have this horrific disorder.
Or even beauty things, like we walk around in heels and let our feet get
Yeah.
gnarled.
Yeah.
You have like the updo that's like, oh my god,
Pulling
these
on
pins are
Pulling on your head,
And it's
to
like,
the
oh,
point
it's
where your
just
hair is falling out because you've had it so tight,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, and not that men don't have those things
Oh,
too.
of
I'm sure
course.
they do. But definitely, like you say, women tend to have a pretty high pain tolerance.
100%. I mean, doesn't mean not there aren't women who don't, but
Yeah, of course.
there's always gonna be
There's whiners on both sides.
yeah, 100%. But I do think women tend to be more conditioned to have discomfort. Like you always see those
And be
video-
okay with it.
Yeah, you always see those videos of like people doing like those period cramp tests, and you see, I'd be like, like it's
Oh,
maybe
yes.
it's on like
And
two-
they're just like, oh my god.
how do you do this? And it's like on 2. And it's like, and they're like, I don't even like, this is not even what my period feels like. This is like, this would be great if my period felt like this. And they're like, oh my god. Or like labor pains. They're like, oh my god, like that's terrible. And the woman's just like,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
whatever. It's like barely a blip on my register. So I think
Exactly.
we're going in with an advantage in that regard, that
Yeah.
we're used to discomfort.
Well, there was one girl. It was returning of the champions or something. Like,
Oh, okay.
Returning of like your
Doing it again or whatever.
Yeah, doing it again. It was your second chance. So it wasn't champions, but it was the almost champions. I think it was all second rounders, right? Like that ended up in second place. So this one girl's like, I'm going to do this right. She did really well the first time. The second time, it was just a freak thing. She ended up getting a hook because you can have fish hooks.
Oh no.
And she got a hook through her hand, I think it was. And she bared it for 24 hours because she couldn't take it out because it was
Because
barbed.
it'll be ripped right out.
Yeah.
And they have obviously no tools because typically what you do is cut it and then slip it out.
Yeah, and she didn't have the tool to do that. Plus, it was in her hand. She didn't want to wreck it, 'cause-
Coming out because she didn't want to do any
'cause
permanent damage.
Yeah, and she was like, oh, well, maybe I can just, work with it. And she worked with it for 24 hours.
That's fucking impressive.
And then she finally called it.
Yeah, because like this is not getting better. And like really, it's
I'm
kind
just
of
like-
risky to keep that in there.
Right?
I'm thinking like infection.
Yeah,
That'd be my biggest concern.
exactly.
Because if you leave that too long, sepsis, and then you're dead.
Well, she luckily in the first aid kit they did have alcohol and things
Oh,
like
good,
that.
so she
she was cleaning it, but nevertheless, you're
It's
still
still-
out in a swamp.
you're
Essentially.
I was gonna say there's only so much you can keep it clean.
Exactly. Doctors are probably going, "Oh my God, get that out!"
Jesus Christ, lady.
Exactly.
And then of course your body's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, but one guy, got cut, and it was, it was not a great cut. Obviously, no cut is good, and it was pretty.
And you're
bad.
more risky when you're out in something like that.
Yeah,
With a smaller cut
but
can be more serious.
Essentially, I have to say he was kind of like crying about it, and it's like,
Like you're being a bit of a baby.
yeah, kind of being a bitch.
Bitch.
Did you
Say that?
Key and Peele fans out there will know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I guess we have to sign up for a loan now and see how well we can.
Yeah, and see if we can get on. They do a whole I think it's a 2-week kind of sort of survivor course, like
that makes sense. So like you have some kind of
yeah, and I think they can
training.
qualify you too.
That's smart. I think that's a really
So that they're not sending you there just to die or something.
Well, yeah, I can imagine.
I get out there and I have my parasol up with my book. It's like, who let her through? Eating my bonbons.
No. She just
How did she get bonbons in?
She just brought a huge supply of candy. I'll be fine. Don't you worry.
I bring out another heart box. It's like, where is she getting these?
Wind up like recorder thing that like plays music. La 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 la.
Well, I knit a blanket.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm gonna be toasty tonight.
It's like, how the hell is she? What was on her 10 list?
I wanted to bring this one bag, and this one bag had all these other things in
Right.
it. I said I could bring this many things.
As
So
long as I can pack it in here.
yeah, I wanted to bring this bag. You didn't say I couldn't put anything in the bag.
Exactly. No, they have an approved list.
That I thought makes sense.
I mean, whatever gets slipped into the underwear.
I mean,
it's
you're
fair
not
game.
touching my special area.
Yeah, that's right.
My
And
private
I think I would almost wear men's underwear in there because you have more fabric.
I would definitely wear men's
Like
underwear.
the boxer, like the brief boxers.
Yeah.
I tear the bottoms off and use them as rags or,
Tie up stuff.
tie up stuff. And,
String.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, rope.
Fire starters.
Yeah, it'd be good. A rope would be a good one, or like something you could make rope with.
Yeah, because a lot of people have a hard time starting that first fire.
The first fire is always the hardest.
They're dumb about.
Not let it die.
Yeah, right.
What you gotta do is make your space, get it cleared out, like it nice. Start gathering lots of kindling, lots of wood. Like, don't start your fire until you have everything gathered.
Yeah.
Because people will often be like, I've got the fire started. And they're like, oh shit, I didn't
And
grab
you need
it.
a lot more wood than you think.
Yes.
And you really should grab a few what you think are dry things.
Yeah.
And put them inside you so they stay warm.
Oh, that's smart.
Because a lot of times kindling's too wet,
too cold.
that sort of thing.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Because people will start the fire like, oh great, start the fire. They're like, I didn't get anything together.
Like against your core, not against your underarms, because your underarms will sweat.
Right,
and-
yeah, but just put it on your stomach, because that's
Yeah.
not, you don't really sweat too much on your
No,
stomach,
no.
and it's warm.
And keep it all inside. Like they have it piled up outside. It's like, then it rains.
Yeah, it's like that should be you and the wood should be friends in your little tent.
Yes, yeah, exactly, right.
The wood is your life source.
Yeah, and you can find dry wood. The only place that they couldn't, they were in Victoria somewhere, I think.
Oh, and they couldn't really find.
Yeah, and everybody was like, it's soaked right to the core.
Oh, that would be frustrating.
And no one could find dry leaves, dry twigs, dry wood. It was bad. I'm like, they've never gone back there.
Yeah, clearly everybody was like, this was not a good place to go. We kind of screwed them up.
One guy's so they were all up near water, right? There's a waterway over there, right? And so this guy was on a bank of sorts, and it went a little steep. It wasn't high, but maybe as high as this ceiling in this room.
Okay.
Right? And there was a family of bears behind him. And he's like, I don't really have anywhere I can go, that he could change his camp. Because this is bear territory, clearly. And one night the bears are right at his shelter going, hey, buddy.
Oh my god, it's did no one think to check the bears?
Right? So he ended up having to leave because he was like, I can't deal with the bears.
Well, no. I don't blame him.
No, they were black bears, so they're a little more easily frightened. So it wasn't grizzly bears.
Okay, at least it wasn't.
But nevertheless, black bears still
bears. And if it's
and there's 6 of them.
And God knows when they're in hibernating, because when they're getting closer to hibernation, they're more aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. They're
so-
are you eating our food because that's ours.
Yeah, well, they're more likely to eat you.
Yeah.
to eat more meat when they're getting.
Are you a food source? Because
Because I'm looking for something to fill up my belly.
normally I like fish and berries, but I will do a human if I have to.
Yeah.
That's
Good
what
thing
they're thinking.
yeah. Good thing it's no polar bears. Polar bears eat humans.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Those are scary.
Yeah, polar bears are big. Like even the Inuit, they used to kill them from the inside out. So they would put a bone inside meat and get the polar bear to come and eat the meat. And when the meat was digested in him, the bone would snap open and cut him open from the outside inside. Because that's one of the only
ways you could.
Yeah.
I just think how horrific. Like, oh, this is so tasty. Wait.
That meal's kind of bugging me.
Oh, so that doesn't feel
Exactly.
God.
What'd you put in the stew, Ma? Boom.
God. Oh, just awful.
But you can't kill a polar bear just
No.
by,
God, no.
spears or bows and
Jesus,
arrows or
no.
whatever.
You see those videos where like they talk about like, oh, if a bear comes near you, be like loud and like you have to scare
Certain
them.
bears.
Certain bears, yeah. But
Grizzly bear, you tend to do that.
yeah, you just
Because grizzly bears are
Are not-
man eaters.
yeah, they're not scared.
No, no, not
I
at
remember
all.
seeing like this video of were they biking, or I think they were biking,
Oh, okay.
and they had like I think they had like a GoPro on their head, and a grizzly bear started chasing them,
Oh my God.
and it was you could just like of course they're panicked,
Yes.
and like
yes.
God forbid if you tripped up at all,
Yeah.
so they're trying to keep an eye
Because
on
they're
the grizzly.
fast when they want to
Oh,
be.
this thing was going so fast, and they were like going fast.
Biking for all they were worth. Yeah.
And the grizzly bear was just
Yeah, he's like, you're in my world right now, bitch.
Oh my God. And obviously the person's panicked.
Yeah.
And you're thinking like, I have to make sure I don't fall because if you fall, you're done.
One
That's it.
misstep, that's it. You're
Exactly.
done. Yeah.
Like any tripped stick or anything.
Yeah.
And so they're like watching oh my God, it's so scary to watch.
I guess so.
It's so frightening for
Holy
it. Like
jumpins'.
obviously they survived because
Yeah,
helps
'cause-
when the video come out.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's not a
oh
snuff film.
my God.
yeah.
Terrible.
Wow.
So scary.
That's crazy.
Bears scare me. Bears are and a moose. You know, I can watch Moose too.
Right.
People-
Moose can be very aggressive when they
Yeah.
want to be. And they're a lot bigger than most people
Oh,
think.
they're massive.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah, very, very big. They're not the cute, cuddly moose that you
Oh
see
my
as
God.
stuffies.
You see people that are like, oh, I want a pet. What?
Yeah.
No.
No, you don't want to pet a moose.
It's like
You want to say hello from a great distance.
You want to make it seem like they still seem really big because they're so far away. Like if it's like, if something looks really big from far away,
Yeah.
what do you think it looks
Yeah,
like when you're
up
right up on it?
close.
I'm just gonna put that right out there. But people get too comfortable with wildlife, I
Well,
think.
it's funny. You know that my sisters and brothers and I rent a cottage
Yeah.
every
geez.
September for a weekend. It's our sibling weekend. So one year we were out there and we were around the campfire and we've had dinner and blah, blah, blah. And suddenly on the picnic table bench, there's a raccoon sitting with us. And he's sitting with us.
It's like, oh, I heard there was a meal.
And we're like, oh my God. And we all jump up. And he's like, what's going on?
Who got here?
And we're like, how do we get rid of him? And we're like, go. Of course, he's like, what the hell is that? But my sister Jamie was really smart. She grabbed his sleeping bag and she came out like, whoa, like this. So she looked a lot bigger and she was doing the whoa. And he was immediately like, oh my God, there's a bear here. Okay, I'm going.
Sorry, I had other dinner plans somewhere else.
I don't need it, whatever you're cooking
Yeah.
right now that bad.
Not worth it. Thank you very much.
But we were all like, good thinking. Like she was fast on
that was smart.
Yeah.
Well, you do have to make yourself bigger. Like a lot of animals, unless like certain ones.
Yes.
The idea is to make yourself appear bigger and
Yes.
louder and scare
Yes,
them.
yes.
Once again, it doesn't work for all of them, so don't make that as
No.
your go-to plan for
Yeah.
all of them. But
Yeah. Well, like skunks, for instance. I came across a skunk in our backyard, and I was right up on him because I was clipping branches and didn't realize he
You
was
were like,
there. And I saw him, and I froze, and he froze, and I very slowly started stepping
yeah,
backwards.
you do not want to scare the skunk.
No, it's like,
you
it's
want
okay.
to be calm.
We're calm. We're
We're
fine.
chill. We're not gassy. Soft voices.
Soft voices. Exactly.
Mean no harm.
Very gentle. Well, I'll be gentle.
Yeah. We're not gonna spray.
Yeah.
We're not gonna panic.
I won't spray. You won't
spray.
spray. So luckily, I did not get sprayed.
Yeah,
But-
you do have to be gentle because they are like spook.
Yeah, and they'll run after you
Yeah,
with their ass up.
yeah. You don't.
They got a gun in their ass,
Yeah.
basically.
That stinks real bad.
that you cannot get rid of easily.
No.
It stays with you.
Forever.
And like, what's weird is I didn't smell them, because normally you can smell
Well,
a skunk.
Skunks aren't typically too smelly unless they've recently
Oh, sprayed?
I think.
Oh, okay.
So they're not like people think they're sticky, but I think a lot of times when you smell them, it's like they've like sprayed recently,
Oh,
or
okay.
sometimes when they I think get killed, like they get
Oh, yeah.
released.
Well,
So
it's
I
like
think-
us when we die, all our gases and stuff
Yeah,
are released.
release.
Release!
We just are.
It's not pretty.
We're just a bag that empties.
Yeah, exactly.
Our human skin bag exposes
Full of gases and
Yeah.
fluids. It's just
very, very flattering. Not.
It's not, but we all die.
We all die,
So it's,
and
we
we
all go
all
through it.
we all just
We're not pretty dyers.
no, we're not.
Am I pretty crier?
Pretty crier. No one's a pretty crier. I'll
No.
tell you that right now.
And just like no one's a pretty dyer.
Yeah, no one's a pretty dyer. No one's a pretty crier. No one's pretty when they give birth or
No.
get birthed. There's nothing is
These
beautiful.
TV shows where they're showing the mom with the baby.
Oh my god, you're dead. You're like everyone's dead.
Yes.
Dead
yes.
looking. Yeah, no one looks good.
No.
And if they did, they've gotten some major Photoshop happening.
Yeah.
Or they've recovered for a day.
Yes.
And then made it seem like as if
Well, I was in a ward when I had you,
yeah.
and there was one mom that she had just had her baby. She immediately wanted to have a shower. She immediately put on makeup because she knew family was coming, and she wanted to look good. I'm like, you just had a baby.
I was barely conscious. I
Yeah.
gave zero
I was
shits.
like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's like,
I-
whatever. But I did say, don't take pictures of me. Take pictures of the baby. But
I have pictures of me. I look terrible.
Yeah.
In all of them. I look dead behind the eyes in some of them. I'm like
I look terrible at your christening. Like, I still hadn't recovered. I look at the pictures. I'm like, what the hell was I doing?
It takes you a few weeks and months and years.
I'm like, that was a bad choice in hair, bad choice in outfit. Like it's just, it's a whole hot mess.
Yeah, appearance doesn't really. You just are surviving.
Because my hair's up, and you can tell. Like I can tell.
You haven't.
I
like,
haven't washed it in a while, so
It
I'm
always
trying to
goes-
disguise that by having it up.
up and puffy and like no one can see.
Yeah. And I've got it in a bun that looks like a cherry on a fat head. It's like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, no, I look and Lucy, especially Lucy's, because I have more pictures. I think of Lucy, and
Right.
because I had like when they were trying to induce me, they fill you with fluids, so I'm like really puffed
Yeah,
and swollen
yeah.
because I'm all full of fluid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't already look fat enough. You had to add some extra fluid to really.
That's what a pregnant woman needs is
more fluid.
girth
Yeah,
to her
please
appearance.
add more. I was missing that extra roundness that I don't already have.
Strip me of makeup, have my hair a mess,
Yeah.
and then girth me
Yeah,
up.
yeah. After 5 days of trying to get this baby out and barely no sleep, I really need to get.
This is a really sexy look
Yeah,
after
this
all
is
that.
how I look. I remember just being like with Ianda, like, Ianda looks fine. He looks
Oh,
tired.
of course, the dad's always like, fine.
I know. And like I'm like,
Well,
I have no idea
it's
where
like,
I'm
look
doing.
towards the camera, Catherine. Okay.
Who are you? Why am I
Or they
here?
give you the baby, you're like, I can't be trusted to hold this.
Oh my
because-
god, I know. They had Lucy with me and I was like, oh.
Not that I don't love the baby. I'm just so tired and weak.
I know. They did give like when I did hold her when they transported her because like they were
Oh,
like
yeah.
they had me have her arm around her and they have like the thing up.
Right.
So they were
right.
walking really
So
close.
you're not accidentally
I'm not
dropping her
left
in the hallway.
I'm not left, and they were pretty good about like making sure to kind of be there when they're like
Right.
trying to get me to breastfeed. I was like, I can barely tell what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, just pull it out for me and put her mouth
Put
on
her
it.
where she
Yeah,
needs to be.
I'm just laying here. You just do it. It's fine. Yeah, the number of times my boobs were just out, and
Yeah.
just people are feeding my kid because I'm like,
Exactly.
I don't know what's going on.
Exactly. That's why midwives are so amazing.
Yeah,
like
you need
a
to have
whole
a-
team of them would be.
You
great.
need to have a whole group.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
as a mother, you're barely.
I think women supporting women in that way would be an amazing
It
experience.
used to be like
It
that.
used
more.
to be like that. Yeah, it was not a
And,
man's world at all.
no.
In fact, they were.
Shimmy them. I liked having Ida there. I think, like, I guess it
I like
depends
the
on the
idea of
person.
the dads being there, definitely, so they can see what's going on. Like, I don't like the idea of them waiting in some
Yeah,
waiting
smoking there.
room.
I was just thinking Mad Men
Yeah,
again of like,
smoking and drinking their drinks and that sort of thing, and
Yeah.
reading the magazines and going, I'm so bored. Well, why don't you try my job?
yeah. And then at that point, they just drug up the
Yeah,
moms and then
they
just.
did. I was wondering about that when they drugged them up, because my mom was like that. She got drugged up for me, right? Because I was born way back before
Way
the
back.
trees were a thing. And I'm like, doesn't that slow down the labor?
You'd think. I think it probably did. But oftentimes, too, C-sections happened a lot then, too.
Yeah, but she gave birth to me naturally. And there were a lot of natural births.
There was a
too.
lot of natural
But,
births.
like, what were they, like 48 hours worth
I'm
of
sure they
labor?
probably like did like painkillers, drugged them up, and then probably had something that
just
that
reached
acce-
in and
Well, and I was thinking too, like something that accelerated the pregnancy
maybe.
too.
I know that I was a forceps birth.
Ooh.
Yeah, because my mom said my one eye was all swollen shut when
Because
she
they like grabbed you funny. I
grabbed
would be
me
so
funny.
mad. as a
She
mom.
she said that contributes to my dyslexia. I know it doesn't, but she thought it did.
That's such a weird. Your eye got slightly messed up, so now you can't read things right.
Yeah, so like for a couple of days my eye was swollen shut,
Oh.
and I looked like I'd been in a fight. I started out fighting.
She was really encompassing that Aries energy.
That's right. That's right. The warrior was already out.
Well, both the kids they came out perfect.
And I was the most Indian looking, like Native American looking.
That's Annabelle. She came out as my little native baby. I was like,
Okay.
oh, my little native baby.
Nice,
And then
nice.
she got darker. She doesn't look as native.
I got lighter, but in the summer, as a kid, not so much anymore, I would get darker. And that's part of the reason why my nickname is Rhonda Bear, because Mom would say I'm her little brown bear in
Oh,
the summer.
that's cute.
Yeah, because I get really tanned in the summer.
Yeah, the girls do too. I mean, they would.
They're mixed.
They're
babies.
mixed.
So,
they would.
yeah, they got,
I'm waiting for the summer so Annabelle can get her coloring back.
right.
She's so pale right now.
Yeah,
From everything.
From all her,
Medical stuff.
yeah, medical stuff, lack of iron, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
we went all over the place.
Yeah, we did. If you would also do alone, let us know in the comments. Would you go on a game show?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Would you go on a game show? Would you? Do you like the idea of being alone? and
Yeah. Do you
surviving?
think you could survive? Would you want to do it?
Yeah.
And what items would you
It's
bring?
basically forts for big people, for adults.
Yeah.
It's a fort show. Would
It
you
is.
want to build a fort?
Would you want to build a fort?
I used to do
maybe?
forts all the time. I loved it.
Forts were cool. I had a fort.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was also by myself, so maybe I could do it because I didn't like people in my fort. My
Yeah.
fort was just for
yeah.
me.
Yeah. A girlfriend of mine and we would make forts in the woods, and we would visit each other's forts, but we wouldn't stay. It
Yeah,
was
you
like,
couldn't stay in my fort. This is just my fort.
yeah, it's my fort, and that's her fort, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was fun.
So maybe I could do this.
Yeah.
I made forts.
Maybe we'll do our own alone.
Yeah. We'll just be like Michael
We'll
Scott.
make forts beside each other.
And borrow cups of sugar.
Yeah, and borrow cups of sugar.
Flour.
And flour. It's like, did you bring any eggs? Yes, I did. Okay, I brought vanilla. That's one of our 10 things.
Vanilla. Really? Vanilla was very important.
It was, yeah. Really.
I feel like chocolate, s'mores. I bring s'more stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to go camping with you and the girls.
I would like to go camping. Ian is not a big camper. He's much more of a
he can stay
glamper.
and work.
I've been wanting to take the girls camping because I'm like,
I do have to have some glamping elements.
I do have to. Yeah, I am. I say, yeah.
Because I can't sleep on the ground anymore.
It's too hard.
It is.
We're saying we could do that alone. We can't sleep on the ground.
Well, the first thing I do is make a bed in my shelter. Like
That's true.
one of the women, well, both women had a raised bed.
That's what you gotta do. You can't be on the ground.
Yeah,
That's where that sucks up all your
energy.
warmth.
Yeah, and it's 18 inches off the ground. That's the sweet spot.
Is it?
Yeah,
Also the crawlies.
yeah. It gets rid of the crawlies, and it gets rid of like it's where the heat is,
Oh yes.
but the
'Cause
cold is not.
I love that.
I learned that
18
from
inches.
a documentary that I watched
Oh.
about why peasant beds back in medieval times were always 18 inches off the ground.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They found the sweet spot.
They
did
found
they?
the sweet spot. There's a lot of science in medieval times that they didn't realize was science.
It's just one of those things that kind of stumbled upon.
Yeah, but they were talking about the science behind some of the stuff.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of life.
Yeah.
We just do things and we don't realize. and we're like,
accidental awesomeness.
yeah, accidental scientist moments.
Exactly.
I don't know why I'm doing this, and then you realize, like, oh, because it's science.
Yes. Well, and it's weird because I'm always like wondering, like, who's the first guy that ate a strawberry, right? Like, who's
Yeah.
the
Did they
first
rub
one
it
to-
on their skin?
Yeah. Did they meditate with it? Did they rub it on their skin? Like, who's
They
the first?
meditate with it. Sorry.
Well, that's what a lot of medicine women and men
That
would
makes
do.
sense.
They would meditate with the plants to kind of get the conversation going of what this plant does, what it's good for, is it bad for you, is it not bad for you, that sort of thing.
That
right?
makes sense.
Because they all give off energy,
Yeah.
right? And it's reading the energy. And I know it sounds really woo-woo, but it's actually a
It
thing.
does. Well, yeah, you hear that like holding up, and it'll tell you whether or not you need it, right?
Yeah. Muscle testing.
Muscle testing. Your
Yeah.
food. It's always a good thing.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're not very good at intuitive reading yourself.
Or if your relationship with food is a little wonky,
That's true.
you know, it's like, so ask your body if
I
it
just
needs
assume
it.
you always need
And
cake.
don't do it with Doritos because your body will always go, yes.
Yes to the Doritos. Yes to the cake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes to the donut.
Exactly.
Trying to think of other things. Yes to whatever else.
No,
Yes to the
no
McDonald's.
to the prunes.
Yeah.
It's like,
No prunes.
it's like-
No.
Your body will probably say yes if that's the kind of diet you're having. And Doritos, cake, donuts, and McDonald's.
Like God.
The body would probably be like, yes, please bring the prunes.
Prunes, please. We need them desperately. We needed them years ago. So
Thrown a
backed
few-
up here. What is it? What's what you do like when you're. I'm trying to think of like when you pickle something. You're
Oh, you fermented? No.
fermented. I'm so fermented now. Like I'm so backed up. I've been fermenting in here.
Yeah, that's right.
You're practically a pickle right
I know
now.
someone was talking about, and this was years ago, about how some food stays in your digestive tract forever.
Yeah.
And it can start to sort of almost ferment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's disgusting. Like, fermenting is good if you're doing pickles, and they say drinking pickle juice
Yeah.
of true fermented pickles.
Yeah. I've
Don't
heard
go out and buy Bix pickles and drink
No,
pickle
you want
juice.
like cold pickles or make homemade pickles.
Yeah.
And be mindful though. You have to be mindful.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
don't do-
Because people think, oh, this is a good thing. I'm going to do nothing but this.
Well, also just being safety wise of doing it because
Yeah.
sometimes people don't do enough salt.
Yeah.
And like there's certain ratios.
Yes.
Find a trusted recipe
Yes.
and follow
because
that.
it can be poisonous.
You can kill yourself.
You don't want to die of pickles.
Because I saw something about like sauerkraut being
death by pickles.
death by pickles. How did she die? By pickle. She tried to make them herself, and well, she made them poisoned.
Yeah, they didn't work out so well.
Yeah,
Yeah, and sauerkraut, you have to be.
sauerkraut because I wanted to make sauerkraut because I heard that's really good to get natural probiotics from. And but then the one person's like, oh, I had to throw out my first batch out because I added too much sugar or something.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, like so that's another thing you have to be careful of, because a lot of these you keep out.
Yeah,
like
and
you have to
there's
ferment.
The ratio is there for.
Yeah, it's just
reason.
like when you do any type of canning. You
Yeah.
have to use a recipe that's trusted, that's like following the proper
And hygiene and cleanliness are very important.
Yes. So
There was a troop that went north, like they were adventurers and explorers.
Yeah.
And they ended up going insane because the tin cans at that point were made with like I think it may have been iron or something. That
those leaching into their food.
Yeah, and they ended up like it got into their brain,
Oh,
and
my
they
God.
ended up dying. Some of them because of paranoia, because of
Jesus fuck.
they were having hallucinations. So you have to be careful of that stuff, right?
People don't realize that you can.
And they say that's why you don't buy dented tin cans.
Yeah.
Because it can leach into the
I always
food.
think about that when I see a dented tin can.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, can't eat it. I always think about that.
Yeah. I'm like,
I've always heard like
scraping
scraping,
for the non-dented.
scraping too. You don't want to scrape the sides, I've heard.
Oh,
of a
really?
tin can because of like scraping whatever's inside. But people do that all the time. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I heard that you should be mindful. Now that some of this could just be like,
I usually, I'm sure the tin cans today are not made with
No.
ingredients that are going to leach.
no, they've definitely.
And I usually use a spatula, like a rubber spatula.
I do a spatula.
So you're not scraping like hard.
Oftentimes too, I usually have like a liquid that I.
Yes.
Oftentimes the things I'm scooping out, it's like, oh well, I'd have to add a little water to this, so I'll just put water and just shake it.
I do that with spaghetti cans, like because I buy the Classico.
Oh yeah.
So I'll often like put a little milk in it.
I do, milk or water.
Yeah, and shake it up. I do milk because it tones down the tomato.
It does. If you have a hard time with acidity, it's good for that.
Balance that out for you.
Which is great because I often get heartburn now since I've had children.
Oh,
it's so wonderful for that.
Yeah. Children will do that.
I never had heartburn until I was pregnant. And now I always get heartburn. Yeah. Not always.
And now she lives in a heartburn world.
Now any tomato comes near me and I have heartburn. I just look at one. Heartburn. I still eat it though.
Yeah. Pizza does that for me too.
Pizza. You have to be careful with pizza. I saw this funny picture of like this like pepper cracker thing, but instead of pepper, it was Peptos in it.
Oh.
And they cracked it over the pizza.
That's awesome.
I laughed. I was like, that's what I need.
And what's funny is like I'll resist doing Pepto-Bismol, but then I will, and I'm like, oh, that really does work. It feels so much better.
You
like,
have to.
Why do
I know. I get like the Tums. That's what I meant to say. Pepto. I said Pepto, but like the Tums.
Oh yeah, the Tums. Yeah.
But I do. I usually do that. Like if I have tomato sauce, I usually try and put. It's harder with pizza because if I'm buying pizza, they don't like they have obviously their own sauce.
Yes.
But if I'm like making homemade pizza, or if I'm doing like,
then you don't have to put the sauce on, or you put a different sauce.
Oh, I'll put a different sauce, or sometimes I'll use something like to counteract the
right.
Like I'll add baking soda, or I'll put like a carrot, or I'll add some sugar that helps the acidity of the sauce.
Yeah, because a lot of pizza places, like if you're ordering pizza, use marinara, which is even more.
It's very tomatoey.
Yeah, but you can ask to not have that put on.
I have done that. A lot of times when we do custom pizzas, we'll often do like something like barbecue sauce or whatever garlic butter sauce because it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
I still do get tomato sauce, but then I'll know like, okay, I'll just go to bed and I'll have like a few Tums.
Yeah.
Just to counteract it.
But I'll like I don't order pizza that much, but I'll ask, do you use marinara sauce or do you use a tomato sauce?
Yeah, it's two different things.
Yes. And if you're using a marinara sauce, then I'll be like, don't put that on my pizza because like you say, it comes through the door and instantly
it's almost like
everything's on fire.
It's almost like pure acid going down your throat.
It is.
I'm like, I never understand why people like marinara sauce because it's
too
like
much.
It just feels like acid, liquid acid that you can put into your mouth. Like it's like, why would I purposely put acid in my mouth? Like,
we're sipping coffee.
Coffee's an exception. Okay?
Yeah, it's an acid I can deal with.
It's an acid.
Plus, I put cream in there. So
I was gonna say, basically, it's like milk at that point.
Milk. Colored milk.
Colored milk.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, some acids I can handle, others I cannot. Marinara acid I cannot handle.
First, like I thought you said acids. I'm like, what? Oh. Some acids I can handle.
We were talking about acids earlier.
Yeah. There's only one ass I want to deal with, and that's my husband.
There you go. And occasionally your daughters when you were changing them. So
yeah,
they had cute little bums.
They still have cute bums.
Oh, nice. Yes. Your brother had two little dinner rolls.
Yes.
And you're like, look at your little dinner rolls.
A little bar on them.
Exactly.
I know. I don't know what it is about children that make you want to eat your own kids.
I know, right?
I still to this day, I'm like, I just want to eat you up. No.
And it's so funny because there's so many fairy tales where the witch wants to eat the baby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Oh my God. There's so many times like when the kids are either toes.
Oh, their toes.
I always eat their feet. I'm like, I just want to eat your little toes.
Your little cheeks.
Your little cheeks,
little bum.
Me and I would always like chew on their cheeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want to eat your own young.
If you don't want to eat your own young, are you a parent?
Yeah.
Like, do you even
really love them?
I was gonna say, do you even like your kids if you don't want to eat them occasionally?
Exactly.
Like, you should be tempted to eat your children once a day. And if you're not tempted to eat them once a day, do you love them? I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. I still want to eat you.
I'm still adorable.
She is. Oh dear.
God. I do threaten to roast the children once a day at least.
Right. Well, that's a different thing.
Yeah, I really am the witch who's trying to cook the kids.
I could throw you in the oven right now if you don't clean up your room.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, anytime I ask for dinner, like, what's for dinner? Like, you. What do you think I've been fattening you up for all these years?
Exactly.
You're a big investment. I'm expecting a big payback on the meal. I tell Lucy, like, you're almost ready.
Yep. 15th birthday.
Get ready. Gonna hunt you down.
There's a reason we call it Sweet 16.
Why am I eating so many apples, Mom? I was thinking about pigs and feeding them apples and getting them all sweet.
Sweetens the meat.
Yeah. Well, you'll find out.
Yeah. Oh dear, as we cackle away.
Yeah, we're taking this in a dark turn.
Yes.
Dark humor coming in.
Gotta go dark sometimes.
They do.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
Yes, and happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Make sure to send your birthday wishes.
Yeah,
to
send your
Rhonda.
birthday wishes.
And go on Ko-Fi. We said Goddess Garage.
Yeah, Goddess Garage. You can make a donation. You can become a goddess in the Goddess Club. You can buy a service if you want. Your best birthday gift to me is to buy a service.
Yeah.
Or come in and do some shopping.
Exactly. Come say hi in
Exactly.
in person. In person.
In person, on purpose.
On purpose. No, just stumbling by accident.
Oh.
I don't know even how I got here.
Exactly. But let me buy this deck of cards.
Yeah. Or jewelry.
Or
smudges. Or
candles,
crystals.
or crystals.
Or a reading.
Yes, there you go. Well, thank you for being here for my birthday. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Next week. And have a good happy Easter if you celebrate Easter.
Happy Easter.
Long weekend.
Yes.
For those of us that get to enjoy them.
And Passover's happening right now, too.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so
So
I'm not as
Passover.
familiar with that, but
Neither am I.
hopefully you have a great time, too, doing whatever you do at Passover.
Yeah.
I know there's bread involved, I think.
I think you're right. There is bread.
Yeah.
And
There's bread involved. I'm there.
She just brings her flour.
Yeah.
She'll get the yeast from the air. Don't worry.
Exactly. Not to worry. You got a little water? Help me
I
out.
got it. Don't worry. We just have to wait a week.
Yeah, just give me a week here. We'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. And it'll be no time. Nothing.
Exactly.
You won't even notice I'm here.
Exactly. Sitting in their house for a week. It's like
Eating all
the
the
crazy
food.
lady's still in the living room.
It's like, don't worry, just a couple more days. I see the bubbles starting soon.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll let you all go.
Yeah. And
you're
like
all-
this video. And
Yeah, subscribe. We're here every Wednesday.
Yep, every Wednesday. Who knows what we'll be wearing next Wednesday?
I know. It changes. Sometimes we don't wear anything.
Yeah, sometimes it's just us.
Sometimes we're just our plain, boring selves.
Yes, yeah.
But today, hats.
Hats, birthday hats.
Birthday hats. We didn't get any birthday. Oh, but we got birthday donuts.
Yeah, birthday donuts. There you go.
So it's kind of like cake.
It's better.
It is better.
I like donuts.
Donuts. I like all desserts.
Yeah. Well, desserts, yes. Generally speaking, I agree with you there.
Yeah. All sweets. That will just be all I bring to my alone thing. Just sweets.
She's slipping them out of her underwear.
Why is everything in my underwear?
Because we talked about stuffing everything there. Because anywhere else it would show. No one's searching your underwear.
Yes, because everyone's
Your underwear's out to here.
Because everyone's crotch is a weirdly shaped out protrusion.
And you're walking like you just had an accident in your pants.
Oh my god!
No, this is the way I always walk. What are you talking about?
I always walk like I have a turd sitting in my underwear.
Would you like to sit down? Not yet.
Yeah, I'll sit when I need to. Everything in the underwear.
Yeah.
So enjoy putting things in your underwear this weekend, maybe.
There you go.
Maybe the Easter Bunny will hide a few treats there.
Yeah, practice
And if
being
they're-
alone with
yeah,
stuff in your underwear.
Exactly. And if they're brown, don't eat them.
Yeah, exactly. Good advice there.
Yeah. Which is tricky because chocolate is also brown.
Yeah, so be careful,
So
kids.
maybe feed it to someone else and see what they
Have
say.
a taster.
Yeah.
Here, Lucy, try this.
Oh my god. Yes, because that will win me Mother of the Year award.
Yeah, exactly.
I just found this in my underwear. Do you want to try it?
Here, Ianda, have a bite.
Yeah, I would probably do it to you. Sacrifice my husband before my children.
Good to know you got your priorities straight.
Yeah.
Love
Once
that.
they're adults, then maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. Will you smell this? Do the sniff test.
Sniff test.
No, it smells like chocolate. Okay.
Whoop. I know there are some moments that can be tricky.
Yeah.
You don't ever know.
Yeah,
You never
exactly,
know.
Exactly.
If anything, always just err on the side of caution. Just throw it away.
I was gonna say, just eat it.
Wow. Well, now I wonder if you'll be the person who eats the mushroom.
Yeah, right.
Let's just try this. Maybe it's not so bad. Where I'm like, maybe you should just leave it if you're not sure.
Well, it was waste once. It'll just go through the second time.
Yes, because that won't have any issues on your body, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm going to a very weird place.
She is. The sugar's hitting. I think the
Yeah.
coffee. Our acid is messing with our brains.
Exactly. The acid and the sugar.
And the sugar. That's all we've had.
Yes. All right. Well,
All
thank
right.
you very
Yes.
much.
Now, for the third time,
We
a
mean
true,
it this time.
a true Canadian goodbye.
Exactly.
We promise we mean it this time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Or not.
There we go.
Or not. It's like, nope.
It's like, yeah.